program appreciates your recommendation.
I want to get out of this fucking state. Can someone please get me to... Someone please help me fucking move? No, I'm going to Victoria. Another day, another dollar that I'm not making because I don't work a conventional retail job or something like that. Guys, gals, and non-binary pals, welcome back to the Rogue Room. I am your host, the Abigail Beck, the indomitable, the unassailable. How you going? You want to flex? Oos. There you go. I'll do one of those ones. Get the shoulders out. Get the shoulders into it. Show off the guns, by the way. How's everyone going? We're back in business. The last few days that I was going to stream, I didn't, obviously, because I felt like boiled garbage. And I don't know if you've ever boiled garbage before, but it's rancid. I wouldn't recommend taking a garbage bag and sitting it in a big pot and filling it with water and then putting that over a fire and then boiling that. It's a horrible idea all around, and I felt like the contents of that particular pot. Anywho, I feel remarkably better today, actually. Thank you, COVID vaccine, I suppose. So, yeah, got a positive result this morning. I think we got it this morning. I can't remember, but we've definitely confirmed that me and Maddie have had COVID the past few days. Maddie definitely started showing symptoms before I did. But then, yeah, it's just escalated from there. So we're isolating until, like, I think it's the 12th. We're allowed to leave the house on probably technically the 13th. I'm really pretty, thank you. So are you. Hey, so are you. I don't know if she can hear me because she has headphones in and she's on a Discord voice call. But anyway, we're here. We're here now. We're back now. Isn't that basically gender critical Twitter with extra tabs? What have I missed? What have I missed? You can hear somewhat. I was saying you're hot, you dingbat. Okay, so yeah, we've been. It's debilitating. I'll say that much. It's fucking debilitating. I was just the boiled garbage thing. Yes, of course. So yeah, I felt like gender critical Twitter, which fucking sucks. Abby, hi. What did I say? Lupa has been modded. Yes, indeed. Did I see that? What did you send me in DMs? Which DMs? I can't recall. Which DMs? I've got so many different DMs. You're gonna need to be more specific. Hello, Phage. I'm just seeing a bunch of swords. What? This is just swords on top of swords on top of swords. Reminds me of a certain quote by Martin in The Simpsons, which is the Lord of the Flies episode. Discord DM the farm thing. Hello, Soph. How you doing? There's one person who's not a oh, this place is not happy. Or do we want anything that's not happy? I don't know if I want things that are not happy. I am a sword lesbian, so all of my friendly lesbians get a sword. Okay, you're all. If you have a sword, I don't care your gender. You're a lesbian. If you're in this chat, you're a lesbian. Get over it. Deal with it. So there you go. What's going on, folks? What's the news? What's happening? How have you been? It's been decent today, even if I haven't done much. But maybe that's helped a little bit. I don't know. What really sucks though is I just literally signed up to the gym on when was it? When did I sign up to the gym? I think it was like Wednesday or yeah, it was. Was it Wednesday? The time has been a mess. I'll take a look a little bit later, Draco. Yeah. The time has been so messy when you can't like leave the house and you can't do anything. You lose all concept of what day it is. I keep checking the calendar and I'm like, I keep thinking to myself, like, I'm trying to sell a bunch of my stuff, right? See, all this stuff up here is available for sale on like Facebook Marketplace and shit, and there's a bunch of other things I'm trying to sell off because I want to move soon. I'm trying to move, by the way. You should help out by tipping like $5 instead of subbing on Twitch. I'm trying to sell things, and somebody has agreed to buy like the Captain America shield backpack that you might have seen in some of the backgrounds of my photos. I just genuinely do not need it, so I'm tossing it. And I keep thinking they're coming to get it tomorrow. They're coming to get it tomorrow. Then the next day, they're coming to get it tomorrow at like 7 o'clock in the morning because they work 2 hours away and they want to stop by and get it first. And I'm like, wait, no, what? They're not getting it until like Sunday or Monday. I have no idea what day it is. And it sucks. And like, I completely remember this feeling from when we first had to isolate. For quarantine reasons, like back when Australia was doing the hard lockdowns thing for a while there. We had to lock everything down and you just get stuck in the house and you can't go to the shops, you can't go and talk to people, socialize. If you have a job you go to, you can't go to the job. If you go to the gym, you can't go to the gym. All these other things, like your entire schedule is thrown out of whack and then you just lose sense of time. It's wild. I have to keep forcing myself to go to bed at the right time. I have to tell myself, okay, it is bedtime now, don't stay up. Don't stay up any later, because, like, I mean, I might not be, I'm definitely not the only person who's had this experience. But when I was a lot younger, when I was, like, a teenager, late teens, early 20s maybe, I was going through a phase where I was playing a lot of World of Warcraft. A lot. Actually, let me think. I started playing in 2008, which would have put me at 19 years of age, okay? And I was doing other stuff before that as well. Like, this did not start with WoW. There were other games I was playing well through to the early hours of the morning. And I got into this really horrible, depressive rhythm of sleeping for like... not sleeping. I would stay up for days at a time, then I'd sleep for 15 hours straight on like one day, and then I'd be up for like 3 days again. And I just wouldn't remember what day it was. I had no concept of time whatsoever. I'd stay up through the night. I don't know what it was. I was going through a really bad insomnia phase. It was almost like being on meth, right? Not that I know what being on meth was like, but I know people who meth binge tend to stay up for days and days and then crash for like... I've heard of some people literally sleeping for days straight after being on a meth binge. I don't know. But still, it was wild. So I was just staying up in my room. This is the thing that contributes to this. Is like staying up in the confines of my bedroom, right? Just playing video games for hours on end, doing nothing else, right? Game addiction. Yeah, I was definitely game addicted back when I was like a teenager. I think it was just, there was so much that I didn't want to focus on in the real world. There were so many things going on in the real world I did not want to deal with. So I coped by playing video games and staying up and just effectively detaching from reality. And it's wild. To think back on it now, like I realize how easy it would be for me to slip back into that in a quarantine / ISO / whatever situation. You know, because if you can't do anything else, well, you're stuck at home, you might as well play video games. You might as well do whatever it is that distracts you from the real world, the grim reality that everything's scary out there. You could get COVID. I got COVID. Steph-tacular said, I think Maddie was telling me Steph-tacular said something like, I know more people who've got COVID now than don't. Which is terrifying. But fortunately, I think the vast majority of us are vaccinated in Australia at this point. So I don't know what the death numbers are like at the moment. I imagine there's still some, but anyway. You tweak enough while sober courtesy of Tourette's. That's not. I mean, it's fine. I never did meth, but you've abused Adderall. Oh, so meth light. Okay. You'd be up for days at a time. I've considered asking for asking for a diagnosis of ADHD. Honestly, I've considered going to my doctor and asking for a diagnosis of ADHD, which would probably inevitably lead to getting prescribed something like Adderall, which worries me because I know it can be a bit of an addictive drug, which is kind of terrifying. Because I definitely, in terms of video games, I have at least an addictive personality to an extent.
Thank you for
why, hello,
your
Eileen the
membership.
Wizard, thank you. For the tier 1, for 2 months, thank you so much. You legend, you. Kicking us off to a good start tonight, thank you so much. What was I going to say? I definitely had an addictive personality to video games a while ago. But that's kind of the reason I stopped playing MMOs. It's so hard to say MMOs. How do you do it? I can hear Maddie talking. Can you hear Maddie talking in the background, by the way? She's on her Discord call. Anyway. Got yourself off codeine, so you think you may be okay. I think I tried codeine. Not tried, like recreationally. When I had my first wisdom tooth out, I think they put me on codeine. And that was kind of the same vibe that I was feeling the past couple of days. Like, not pain, but just this overwhelming bodily fatigue. Like, my body has felt like I've done a full body workout for the past couple of days. Today, it doesn't feel too bad, right? But in...
Not
Artemis.
staying cause I'm partying with the gayest group of friends. Just wanted to spread some positivity cause I got my first bra and inserts today. I finally have tits.
Hang on. Yay Booba! Can we get some yay Booba in chat? Artemis, thank you so kindly for the 100 bits. Oh, a coffee alert! A coffee alert! Hi. I missed it. Hang on. I heard that. I heard that one. Let me see. I'm on the wrong coffee page. Give me a sec. I need to find out who was that? Who was that? Yay Booba! Congratulations, Artemis. Go party with the gayest group of friends. Thank you so much. How do I sign out of coffee and into my other coffee? I have multiple coffee pages, just so you're aware. It was Jenny. I saw a Jenny. Jenny Impatient, thank you so kindly for the 15 bucks. For the $15 reduce. I'll have to add that to the goal then. We're just sort of rambling. We're ranting and rambling at the moment. And yeah, I don't have my color filters in my lights, by the way, because I did my makeup and I want you to see it. I didn't do contour or highlight because I feel like, oh, this look is missing something. This look is missing something. I usually do like little, like, as you can see, I've done a tired look, right? I've done a fatigue, sort of like, I am exhausted. Look at me, I'm sad. Usually I do a bit of like a pink or a brown, like right here in the bridge and right around the edge of the nose here. So it gives you sort of a hay fever look about it. I want to be the tired gay. I am the tired gay. And also my eyeliner is actually pretty decent. I did very, very thin liner today, so not going overboard with it. I'm exhausted. I am exhausted. You've done between 9 to 7 kilometers per day this week. Good. Keep on it. That's good for you. I am so annoyed. Jenny, thank you so kindly. By the way, what was your first message earlier? Getting diagnosed for ADHD is a nightmare. I imagine it would be, yes. I'm one of those people where it's like, I would like to, well, tonight, what? I can't remember what I said 2 seconds ago, honestly. This is why I feel like I should go get a diagnosis, but at the same time, I don't want to have another mental issue to deal with. Alright, let me fix the goal up. O2. I hate the way that Streamlabs strictly has goal dates set to American time. So you got to do like you got to do month, day, year, and I hate typing dates like that. It's awful. Oh, a hype train is close. If somebody subs, gift subs, or cheers at least 100 bits in the next 52 seconds, we could kick off a hype train for some reason if you really want to. Blah. 12. Hey, going. Welcome in. If you have it, you have it. The only change is that you can give you meds, therapy to help. Yeah, exactly. So, and, you know, the more I think about it, the more I really shouldn't, like, self-analyze that as Series Sword. Yes, and I am honestly worrying about how the actual fuck I'm supposed to get that to Melbourne when I move. I'm worried that customs might snatch it. How do I move a sword? Will I have to ship it to myself? Will they let me carry that into the post office? Like, what am I going to do? I don't want to lose it. I like it. It's my favorite. Like, I'll show you. It's a cheap knockoff, though, is the thing. But when I say cheap, I mean $200 or $100 or something. It's cute AF. Look at it. You can touch it. You can touch it when we meet up. Okay. Put it up your top or something. It. She/it pronouns. Although I suppose arguably you could say they. I don't really care if you call me they, as long as you don't call me he. You know, put an invisible potion on it. Touch his sword. Touch my sword. Everyone can touch my sword. I might be able to post it to me, and I can keep it safe till you move into a new place. Yeah, I could do that. But yeah, again, the thing that I worry about with that kind of thing is like, how do I ship it? I don't want to. Maybe what I could do, like, here's a crazy idea. Here's a nonsense idea. I could take a bunch of photos of it, go down to the post office and be like, look, I have this replica sword. It's not actually sharp. It's not designed to harm anyone. It's just a display item. How much is it going to cost me? Here are the dimensions. Would I ship it in a cardboard box, whatever? And then, yeah, I could literally send it to you, which would be sick. Excuse me. Check the Discord thing. This is not even a COVID cough. This is I can't drink water properly cough. You're gonna make me a good... What are you implying there? It's a good sword. I like the fact that it's honestly... there are gonna be worse coughs. There are gonna be worse coughs, definitely. The thing that I like about the Witcher swords is that they're like very close to real world swords, but just a little bit more fantastical. I love that about them. Very close to, you know, very typical long swords and great swords and things like that, but they also look cute and unique. I don't know. Check out some dumb selfies of Rogue. I haven't gone by the name Rogue in a while. I mean, I should get like this section of hair here dyed white. What do you reckon? Should I just like dye that really like platinum blonde? That fucking God damn it. Moving well, depending on where you are, I really recommend traveling coach. There's no customs like that. Traveling coach. You mean like in terms of taking a like interstate bus thing, or you mean flights? Because like the plan was to pack my car and drive there, or the plan was like I would pack the car and drive there, and Maddie would fly there. I don't know yet. Why am I talking about this in such detail? Speaking of bleaching and dyeing hair, check out the hair Buddha. Should I now? Dye it green. I'm not doing green. There's no way I'm doing green. I'm sorry. Cute as it would be, and I have a friend who had green hair until relatively recently. There's no way. Honestly, like, there's some photos up, which I think are on my alt. Let me have a look. I've got these pics here. I think I've shown. I'm actually just gonna go to Google Photos. Or he goes through hair dyeing videos and tells you what they're doing wrong. So the hair Buddha, is he on? Where is he? Is there a website he's on that I can look at? Let me see if I can find the actual specific picture. I'm sure I've known.
Enjoy your membership.
Riders, thank you so kindly for the prime. You absolute legend, you. Thank you so much. You absolute foot in a positive way. Absolute foot in parentheses positive. Let me see if I can find it. I was fucking around with FaceApp a little while back. I think I was still in Melbourne actually when I did this. And because I've been to Melbourne recently, had a COVID scare then, fortunately came back negative, get back to New South Wales, catch COVID anyway, fucking great. However, while I was there, I decided to mess around with FaceApp, and there are a lot of photos on my Google Photos. Jesus. Why do I take so many selfies? This is obnoxious. I am an obnoxious person. Let me scroll back up. Because fortunately, like, even, like, if you try to run your face through a FaceApp gender filter or whatever, it completely fucks your facial structure up and makes you look awful. However, the hair dye filter actually works really nicely. If I can find the pictures of it, I can show you, but I don't know where they are. I did post them somewhere. Because I'm a chronic narcissist. I love looking at myself. I legitimately... It's great. I love to look at pictures of me. It's tremendous. It's actually a really good feeling. The confidence it brings to be able to take a photo of yourself and be like, I don't hate that, is awesome. It's actually fucking sick. Sick in a good way. Not sick, not COVID. Where are the pictures? They're here somewhere. I know. Hang on. AGP. I am totally AGP right now. I am AGPing so hard. You have no idea. Let's see. Okay, I have an idea. Because my phone is smart and it categorizes things into albums, you see. So what I can do actually is I can find my FaceApp folder and just find the pictures. So here we go. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send this to myself on Messenger because that's the way you do things. I've probably already shown this before. I'm going to show it again because my plan is to dye my hair this color. I have no idea how I'm going to afford it because I'm a natural brunette, as you can tell. But I want to do, and I've wanted to do this for a very long time, gray blue, right? Like, honestly, Witcher hair, basically. Look at it. Does that not look fucking adorable? I want it. I need it. That'd be gnarly as hell. I can help if you're willing to help me with my hair. I mean, I feel like I would fuck up someone else's hair so bad. But I can try. Tell me what you need me to do and I'll do it. I've seen half of the new season of The Witcher. I'm intrigued. I'm interested. It's a different... it's definitely a stark departure from the first season, because the first season jumped all over the timeline, bunch of different short stories condensed into one television season. Which was interesting. I didn't hate the first season of The Witcher. I know some people really hated the way they did the timeline and all that. Because it was multiple different timelines that basically converge at the end of season 1. And now in season 2, we're seeing the aftermath of that convergence of all those timelines and the way events are now playing out. I'm liking it. It's pretty fun. I've got to finish it. I'm also working my way through the 4th season of Castlevania with the girlfriend. But I've already seen it. I've already seen all the way through. Once you're down, you can bleach my hair. You can bleach my hair if you want. First season gave you a fucking aneurysm. I can understand why. And like when I rewatched it, there's one thing I will say. As much as I like the first season of The Witcher, holy shit, they need to drop the word destiny from their script writing team. Just like erase the word destiny, please, for God's sake. They said it so many fucking times, it drove me insane. Basically, did that hair change? You need to bleach your hair 3 or 4 times, but after that, purple dye, shampoo, and conditioner will do the rest. Well, that sounds pretty good. Like, that's what I was intending. And I've always wanted to do my hair, but I've never done anything with it. I just literally style it, and I barely ever put product in it. Destiny can go fuck itself. Mood the audience. Oh, fuck. Seriously, though, they said that word like every episode several times, and I'm like, please stop, you're driving me insane. Oh, I want to rip my brain out every single time they say Destiny. I'm like, shut up. Other than that, it's pretty good, except for one particular character and the way that they wrote that particular character in Season 2. I'm kind of disappointed, but I'm not going to spoil who that is. But their storyline sort of ends a couple episodes in. Anyway, shared a link to Hair Buddha in Discord. Is it like a YouTube channel or a TikTok? Or because I've considered like here we go, YouTube Hair Buddha. Cool. I'm not gonna know. I'm gonna start looking into hair products. Not hair products. Hair content creators. Hairstyling and hair dyeing content creators. Because I'd like to be able to learn how to do it myself. I should follow more makeup artists, actually, but the problem there is if you follow makeup artists, you also get involved in the fucking makeup artist drama sphere, which I just don't want to touch. Hey, am I okay? I'm based. I'm fucking based. How are you? I'm not bad in terms of COVID symptoms, thankfully. You can probably tell I feel a bit stuffed up, but otherwise, I'm okay. Gonna make me watch so much Gundam anime. Put me through it. Drink every time they mention Destiny. Take a shot every time Jaskia fucks things up. And if they mention the Law of Surprise, last person to raise their hand finishes their drink. Hell, I'm down. Fuck yeah. I'm down. Let's do it. Gonna go to your favorite hairdresser who did my wedding and get her to dye my hair. Do it. Do it. Ugh. Why not, right? Why not? We haven't actually talked about anything, especially notable yet. We've just been rambling. Do we like the rambling? Do we like the format where I just talk for a while? Why is Jim Carrey trending in Australia? Oh no. Oh, it's just because The Weeknd did something with Jim Carrey. Okay, I don't care about that. You just like hearing it talk. I know a lot of people do like just hearing me talk. That's why I started posting TikToks. If you're not following me on TikTok, actually, here's the thing. I'm gonna just quickly check something. I'm going to do something really quickly, really immediately. I do not have my TikTok on my Linktree. Why is Jim Carrey? Honestly, the thing that, like, I feel like Jim Carrey's mostly okay, aside from the fact that he's anti-vax, which is bad as fuck. Gonna turn the AC on. Sounds good, babe. I'm gonna log into my TikTok. Not log into it. I'm gonna just... There we go. I'm gonna put my TikTok in my Linktree because I haven't done that yet. And I'm gonna move my things around. I'm gonna move all of my different little social medias around. I'm gonna prioritize like TikTok above Instagram and Facebook because they are both absolute dog shit trash. Gonna get rid of my little link to socialized mail on there. There we go. And I'm getting rid of the Amazon wish list too. Don't mind me, I'm just fucking around with my whatsy. Anyway. Use a blocker to remove the trending bit, improves my mental health. They are all, but they are pretty fucking bad, honestly. It's like, why are they the way that they are? Why is the trending the way that it is? Don't like it. It's terrible. It's actually fucking legitimately awful. There we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my Linktree, and what I'm going to do right now, really quickly, because you like socialized mail, you helped me film that. That's the first video, and I stopped making video essays after that. I should do something else soon. Where is it? Where are my like socials thing?
I see you.
Hello, Jack.
Guests.
Hello, Jack and
Welcome,
friends. How's it going?
friends.
We're just currently figuring out my my stuff. How's it going, folks? Welcome to the Rogue Room. Hang on. Hey, Ziwa. Can you set the lights in here to party mode? Waiting for it, or is she not gonna do it? Hang on. Of course, darling. Thank you, darling. Ready? And also, Blue, go fuck yourself. Come on. Welcome in, friends. There we go. We got raid lights. Sick. Welcome in. Jack, how did you go? What'd you get up to? Rimworld. Hey, don't turn him off. You can't do that. So now we have the, now both Maddie and I have the capacity to control all the lights in the house off our phones. It's great. How's everyone going? Welcome in, welcome in. I hope you're all having a lovely evening. We are just honestly rambling about whatever at the moment. We're going to discuss some news, because I haven't done the news since I came back on Monday. So we're going to do some news, unfortunately. Some relevant news, because your girl's got COVID. What's going on? I've got the COVIDs. There we go. So, now what I'm doing. Bingo bango, Linktree. That saves us so much time. Now you don't have to see all of the links. You can just click on the one. And by the way, I just noticed I have this as a command also. This whole thing smacks of gender. Anyway. I hope, yeah, I mean, so far so good, honestly. So, I'm double vaccinated. I'm getting my booster in like April or something along those lines. And, excuse me. I started showing symptoms like 2 days ago, I think, which is when I got my test done. I got my results today, which said positive. So I'm quarantining until next Wednesday. And the last 2 days, I've felt like absolute dog shit. Like, really fucking bad. However, today, I still don't feel the best. I'm not 100%. I certainly can't go anywhere. You don't have my setting for the rogue room. That's really weird. I wonder why. At any rate, you know, I feel pretty decent. I feel like tomorrow I'll be back to relatively normal function. So, there you go. Get vaccinated. It helps.
Thank you for continuing.
Garden Variety Cat Lady!
At Loda_Apples. Oh wow. A mod timed me out.
Oh no!
Riverbait Weirdiga.
Hang on. Can I do... Can I set that to like 1 second? Here we go. Timeout for 1 second. Sorry, I didn't mean to delete your message. But that should remove whatever timeout you might have. Unfortunately, a lot of our mods use the little icons that come up next to people's names in chat. So there's like a little ban, timeout, and delete option. And sometimes someone accidentally gets caught in a misfire, which sucks. But hopefully that'll fix it and you can talk like normal. Thank you for the sub, by the way. Double vax, but still contracted the virus. I got my vaccine shots really close together, so my efficacy of the vaccine was only like 65, 66%. And, oh, that was in Jack Street. Oh, okay, well, there you go. Yeah, the vaccine doesn't stop you contracting it, but it greatly reduces the symptoms that will affect you. Like, if I didn't get the vaccine, if I didn't get both shots, yeah, I'd be in hospital. I would be probably on a respirator. Unfortunately, we're not 100% certain on the rates of long COVID yet, which leaves me worried because I saw a post by Merrick. Where is it? I saw a post by Merrick like yesterday or today talking about how she had COVID right at the start of it, like early 2020, and then it's been 2 years. She's 27 years of age, right? And it has left her with debilitating, lasting results. Like, she's having trouble breathing and having trouble, like, climbing a flight of stairs and things like that. So there's still... Merrick is a content creator and lefty person. But anyway, yeah. AQ... I don't know if she streams, actually. Anyway, both my unvaxxed friend and my vaxxed brother contracted COVID. My brother is going through it still. Fuck. It's not good. Getting your booster before you go to New South Wales. Don't come to New South Wales. Just save yourself. Vaccines train your cells to properly react to disease. It's not an immunity start. Yeah, which is honestly the issue with like the current wave of the anti-vax movement is adult content creator. Just FYI. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, the fact that we're going through a pandemic has honestly greatly intensified the anti-vax movement, which is fucking horrifying. The reason we're having such bad results, honestly, I could chalk it up to government... I'm trying to think of the word right now. Government... government being bad at things, not censorship, government being bad at things, but also the rhetoric around anti-vax. Negligence, incompetence, that's the word, thank you, my thesaurus failed me. Incompetence, yes. Governmental incompetence is obviously a huge factor. I get it. Yeah, shame me, please. But also I think that the fact that there is a significant worldwide anti-vax movement amid all this, and the anti-vax movement is inflamed by the vaccines being distributed now, has had a terrible, terrible effect on case numbers and deaths. You know, I can't... There's really very little way to prove that circumstantially, though. At the very least, their elevated presence has caused people to believe a lot more conspiracies than need be. Incompetence! Yes, one of those. Intentionally bad. Well, yeah, this is the regrettable... This is where my conspiracy theories come in. I mean, I don't necessarily believe this. But one can't deny that the government may see people dropping off like flies as a possibility to get rid of the undesirables. You know, those that can't be very productive in a capitalistic society. That's my conspiracy theory that I'm not 100% on, but... Oh, we got a Kurzgesagt video if you want to watch it. I got... Which one did I get? Did I get Pfizer? I actually can't remember. Pardon? I got AstraZeneca. There we go. AstraZeneca. Apparently a lot of hospitals are in a bad state in the UK. They're in a bad state everywhere, pretty much. Like, hospitals are overwhelmed. Healthcare workers are overwhelmed. They're experiencing burnout because they can't do as many tests as they need. And now the government here in Australia is telling people, because the rapid antigen tests, which are now available over the counter at a lot of places, are not really working out too well because there's not enough stock for everyone to get tests all the time. But as it stands right now, the testing centers are overwhelmed all over the place, at least here in Australia. And the healthcare workers that are doing the tests are unable to keep up with demand. It's just ridiculous. Real hard not to be a doomer. I mean, I agree, and it sucks because I don't want to be a doomer. I want to try to maintain some optimism. I want to try to maintain some hope that we'll get through this and it'll all be okay and everything will go back to being good and stuff. But, well, I mean, it wasn't good before, let's be honest. But, and yeah, the rapid tests have a 40% false negative rate, and our Premier is literally telling people if you get a positive COVID result, don't go get a PCR test, right? Which I suppose technically works. Like, if you're showing symptoms and you get a positive rat, then nice to meet you, but it's past your bedtime. Radio Corvus, have a good one. Thank you so kindly for being here. Yeah, if you get a positive on a rapid antigen test, I mean, it's probably best you stay home anyway, even if you're double vaxxed. But like if you're showing symptoms, at least if you're showing symptoms and you need a rapid test, go get a rapid test and whatever. But as it stands right now, the testing situation is fucked. There are too many cases, not enough tests happening, and you know, it's partly why you just skip the rapid test. And I mean, 7-day ISO from the get-go, I mean, it might be a good way to go about it anyway. Yeah, if you're experiencing any symptoms, just like, unfortunately, might be the best bet to just isolate, you know. Meanwhile, in Asia, things seem to be fine. That's an interesting discussion, honestly, because there's people all over the place who are having all sorts of weird takes, particularly around China's cases. I think I saw something like China has less than 5,000 active cases or something along those lines. And I can't remember the specific way they worded it. Asia does lockdowns. Well, yeah, Asia does lockdowns. Which work. We've proven they work. Like, welcome to the COVID Club. It's great here. I hate it. Thank you. Fair question. Do you know how long the AstraZeneca vaccine spent in phase 3 clinical trials? I honestly don't know. And yeah, why are we sea lining, honestly? So now workers can have a month off work, whereas previously they had to get a sick note after 1 week. I see. Don't want to be scared, but I am kind of scared, which is why I'm getting my booster almost the moment you're eligible. Well, yeah, it's good to get your booster. You know. Pay a little up front or a lot later. Oh, look, we got another unoriginal loser in my chat. Cool. First time chat from someone I don't want to talk to. How sad for you, bestie. Have a 60-second timeout. Go sit in the corner and think about what you did. You got a booster on the 21st? Yes. Nice. Nice. Korea has a lot of cases and they have to test negative twice just to go back to work. Which, yeah, it doesn't seem like we're engaging with that kind of mindset over here in, well, at least in Australia. Like, I think we're seeing at the moment, because so many people are testing positive or doing PCRs and RATs and testing positive, and as a result they have to stay home and they have to isolate and all of this kind of thing. So many workers are unable to go into work, so we're currently having stock shortages of so many items in supermarkets because there's no one there to stock the items. It's great. I tried to order toilet paper and chicken tenders the other day and I couldn't because they weren't in stock, because there are so many workers who are not able to be working because we've all got COVID. Like, literally everyone has got COVID. It's just gonna have to be one of those situations where, like, yeah, lockdown scared of money. Exactly. So as it stands right now, lockdowns are seemingly the best bet. Like, there was a good TikTok I saw, and I'll try to reiterate the point, where someone showed a clip of Joe Rogan from his show, which, I mean, great. Joe Rogan, wonderful. Where Joe Rogan's going on about how during a lockdown phase recently, I think it was across July and August of last year, I think, around that time frame, I think. And he shows how, like, we were in hard lockdown. No one's allowed to go anywhere, and unless it's an absolute emergency or you need this or that or whatever. Like, we were in, and it wasn't even that strict. Like, it really legitimately was not that strict. We were still free people. We were just abiding by the rules so that we could get rid of the fucking virus. And he shows this time frame of, like, oh look, no deaths, no deaths, no deaths. Oh look, 1 death, no deaths, no deaths. And he's like, why are they doing this? Why are they putting their country in hard lockdowns? Why are they treating their citizens like it's Nazi Germany or whatever the fuck Joe Rogan says? And it's like, the reason we had 0 deaths for so long and the reason there was like 1 death in there over several months is because we were locked down, dipshit. No one could spread the thing. It was working. Like, yeah, that's how that works. He's trying to prove that lockdowns are an awful, fascistic, authoritarian regime, and it's like, less people were dying. Because nobody could get COVID. Because nobody could spread it. That's the point. That's how that works. And it's very clear to me, and I'm sure it's clear to many of you, that there is no when things get back to normal after this. We're not in a post-COVID world, we're in a COVID world. Like, we're not getting around this. We're going to need to be getting booster shots like you get flu shots on a routine basis to stay on top of it, because it's going to develop new strains. And that's just going to have to be the reality of the situation. Because it's clear the vaccine does work, because, 3 days into potentially having it, I didn't even know I had it on the 4th, if I did. But I think Maddie was showing symptoms on the 4th. I started showing symptoms on the 5th. Then we're both pretty bad on the 6th, and now today both of us are not at our best, but we're definitely on the mend. They probably said the same thing during the Spanish flu. Yeah, exactly. Some of the flu shots are for the previous pandemic, the influenza. Yeah, it's kind of funny when people are just constantly criticizing the science behind developing the vaccine. It's normal to be asymptomatic. Well, I hope it stays that way consistently for the rest of the hibernation period. Hibernation period? That incubation period. Whatever it is. Anyway. Gaybo, what are you, 13? Get out of my stream. Who calls people a gaybo? Dude, my girlfriend calls me the F slur. Get out. You fucking loser. Gestation period. I'm going to birth a COVID baby. Here I was thinking me being a transvestite was going to prevent me getting pregnant and just... Anyway. The science behind developing the vaccines and the research that they used to develop the vaccines was already well established. Like, a lot of people are acting like they just developed this vaccine out of nowhere. Anyway, you've moved on to compliments, Kez. And yeah, agreed, Kez, like your statement there, it's not perfect, nothing is. I'm transsexual. I like the phrase transsexual now. Fuck it. Why not? I'll identify with the phrase transsexual if I want. What are you gonna do about it, pussy? What's up? I'm a transsexual bundle of sticks. What are you gonna do? Who fucking cares, alright? Labels are stupid. Fuck the FDA. Oh god. Yeah, enough with the sea lioning. This is the thing. This is the science, dude. That's the way the science is working. I'm not going to read your whole message, but the science is doing the science. You're not doing the science. Are you doing the science? Are you doing the science? I'm genuinely curious. Are you the one doing the science right now? Are you the one developing the vaccines? Are you? I don't believe you. Because you're in here sea lioning about the vaccines. Vaccine that was rapidly developed as a result of literally decades of work. The timing just happened to work out well. There you go. And even then, it didn't work out perfectly anyway. Doing the science. Science is a methodology, not the end game, exactly. It's not. We're not going towards a perfect result. I wish I was doing the science, but not Brainton. Not Brain. I was gonna say, I thought Braint was the point. Nobody who is speaking facts ever says I'm speaking facts, right? There are often people who are very insecure about their worldview and they're desperately trying to convince you. We got Braint. Wish somebody would Braint me. It takes a minimum of 1 to 4 years of testing on humans. How many more millions would be dead if we took that long? Genuinely, do you have the statistics for that? Because I get the suspicion a lot more people would be dead, and we really don't want that. So thus far, we have provable vaccine efficacy, and the vaccine is just going to... And it did take a while anyway. Clearly, don't we have a new flu vaccine every year? Right? Like, I don't know why you're dying on this hill. Those SARS vaccines were in development for years before this latest development. Those statistics are unknowable and we can extrapolate precisely. They were doing a lot of trials on volunteers. They were doing the science with 1918 science, so it's going to take a while, but they're doing it, yes. I'm not a perfect example of failed efficacy because I'm not in fucking hospital, dickhead. Literally the one good thing Trump did was the Operation Warp Speed shit. You're really desperate to argue, I've noticed. Yeah, it's called an emergency. We're currently in an emergency situation where people need vaccines. As efficient as they possibly can be. As effective as they possibly can be. Thanks for the words. Can you tell us your favorite Soulsborne game and why? If it's not Bloodborne, you're banned. Play the damn bit. What's the... Oh, the Kurzgesagt? I need headphones. I don't have headphones. I've lost them. I'll find them. Yeah, Maddie's using hers. I can't steal Maddie's... I can't steal Maddie's vaccines. That's not what I meant. I can't steal... What's he? Maddie's headphones. We're gonna watch the video. Got another sword here. We'll do the video because you suggested it or whatever. Did you do the like little link redeem thing? I mean, it's not that it matters. I don't really care that much. It's just so I can keep track of links. Where is it? I swear I had another pair of headphones. I should have. I'm sure. Yeah. I've surely got more pairs of headphones sitting around. I think actually. Hang on. Is this? This might be it. Here we go, yeah. I didn't realize my Samsung S10 actually came with a pair of headphones and they've been sitting in the box for the 2 years I've had the fucking thing. Ember, hello. These look nice, actually. These are really high quality. Yeah, like chickenpox. You got the vaccine, you won't contract chickenpox, and Phage is not dead. Yeah, same. I actually had chickenpox after getting... Oh, no. Yeah, I did. I did have chickenpox after getting vaccinated for it, and I didn't die. Shockingly enough, but I still contracted it. That's not how vaccines work. Vaccines are not 100% immunity. Doing the science. Medicine is not 100% efficacious anyway. Period. There's always going to be issues with any kind of medication. Right? Doing the science. Humans are not horseshoe crabs. You could have fooled me though, honestly. Wait, no, what? No, I'm thinking of another analogy. I'm thinking of crabs in a bucket, sorry. That humans are definitely crabs in a bucket. Have I got these in right? Agreed with what Lupus said, by the way. Don't talk to me about something. We had a massive argument clip with Bill Nye and Steve Jam. Blah, blah, blah. Bill Nye and Steve Ham. Who's Steve Ham? Crab salt is the cure to everything. No, chicken salt is the cure to everything. You ever had that shit? It's amazing. Chicken salt is based. Okay. This feels weird. These I can't. I like my Kent ham. I like this is these are really good like noise muffling because I can barely hear myself. Apparently a creationist. Ew, no, not creationism. I left that discourse a long time ago. I'm not discussing creationism ever again. Bunch of fucking wankers, Jesus. Anyway, we all know Bill Nye. Let's watch this.
The human immune system is the most complex biological system we know after the human brain, and yet most of us never learn how it works, or what it is. Your immune system consists...
Oh, you were referencing Tim Heidecker. I don't know these things. I'll give it a look. Drop a link to it.
...of hundreds of tiny and 2 large organs. It has its own transport network spread throughout your body. Every day, it makes hundreds of billions of fresh cells organized like an army.
Oh my god,
with
yes.
Soldiers, captains,
yes, combining my emotes with Keffels based.
Intelligence officers, heavy weapons, and crazy suicide bombers. It's not some sort of abstract entity. Your immune system is you. Your biology protecting you from the billions of microorganisms that want to consume you and from your own perverted cells that turn into cancer. It's so manifold that it's impossible to cover in one video, so we'll make a series looking at different aspects of it. Today, what happens when your body is invaded and your first lines of defenses are engaged in a fight for life and death?
I missed like the last half a minute or so because I was posting Swole Keffels on Twitter, so I don't know what you're referencing. Sorry. I'm bad at content creatoring. I'm not even creating the content, I'm watching someone else's. Had a large perverted lump removed.
It's been a normal day when suddenly the world explodes.
Swole
and
Marx.
an asteroid
Wait, did Marx lift? Does anyone know? Did Karl Marx lift? Was Karl Marx like a tank? Was he jacked? You'll be back in a bit. Radio Ember, have a good one.
The sky open. Countless alien life forms
Hello,
invade,
Milan. Here you go.
ready to destroy cities and infrastructure
What is this, No
and
Man's Sky?
eat civilians. Or this is what your cells experience.
Karl Marx was a weak boy. I immediately lost just like 100% of my respect for him. He was actually a wrestler. Now I can't decide.
You look at your bleeding thumb that you just cut on a dirty twig in the park. How annoying. But inside the wound, a horrible catastrophe has happened.
The Rogue Room
There are
appreciates
dead
your
cells and
No, I'm
blood
thinking
and
of those.
dirt everywhere. Even worse, countless bacteria invade the warm caverns between your helpless cells to explore
The warm caverns.
their new home, steal your resources, and poop everywhere. Immediately, the first
Lovely.
stage of your defense kicks in. The cells that survived the impact or
You know what? I'm making a New Year's resolution for 2022 that for everyone that we stop finding fecal jokes hilarious. Because that shit's fucking weird. What's wrong with you people?
are hurt or dying, scream in panic, releasing an onslaught of chemical alarm signals that awaken your immune system. The first
That's for
cells
all
to
of
show
you.
up are macrophages.
Fart jokes are included in that.
If an average cell were the size of a human, a macrophage would be the size of a black rhino. A stoic cell in principle.
I hate all of you.
But you
I
wouldn't
hope
want
you
to
know
annoy it. Bacteria do annoy them. Within seconds, the large cells attack and begin killing them without mercy. They stretch out parts like the arms of an octopus and grab the bacteria to swallow them whole and digest them alive.
Stretch out my asshole, maybe.
A macrophage can eat 100 bacteria before it's
That was
exhausted.
unnecessary, but I don't care.
But there are too many enemies, so the macrophages call for reinforcements. In your blood, hundreds of thousands of neutrophils pick up their signals and move to the battlefield. Neutrophils are intense suicide warriors that only live to kill. They're so enthusiastic about killing that they kill themselves a few days after birth, so they don't have time to accidentally destroy your body from the inside.
That was fucking grim. They're so enthusiastic about killing that they kill themselves. Holy shit.
As soon as neutrophils arrive, they begin vomiting deadly chemicals at bacteria or devour them. They are so careless in their attacks that they are causing real damage to your own cells, but collateral damage is not their concern now. Or ever.
Oh my god, reminds me of Trump supporters. Lamau.
Some neutrophils go so far to push their suicide button and explode, casting wide and toxic nets made from their own DNA, filled with deadly chemicals that trap and kill bacteria. Sometimes they can continue fighting after
This is pretty much every single Kazkazak video, Milam. Like, it's literally... yeah.
that, even though they're sort of dead already. This is how much fun they have killing. While the battle rages,
Oh boy, here I go killing again!
your blood vessels let fluid stream into the battlefield like a dam
Bacterial
opening up towards a
gummies.
valley. You notice this as inflammation. Your thumb swells up a little and gets red and warm. The fluid brings a silent killer. Thumb swells up a little and gets red and
Booba.
warm. The fluid brings a silent killer into the battle zone, millions of complement proteins. A sort
Jimmy.
of automated liquid weapon that stuns and kills bacteria by ripping holes into them. We made a whole video explaining them
Swells a
in
little
detail.
and gets red and warm.
We're reaching a crossroad now.
Kitty.
If things go well, your first
Kitty
line of
go
defense
boing.
kills the invaders quickly. But sometimes the enemies are too strong and would overwhelm your defenses eventually, which means certain death for you, the human. This is the hour of the dendritic cell, your immune system's intelligence officer. While your soldiers were bashing in heads, it was collecting samples by ripping bacteria into tiny parts and covering itself in it. Like a soldier decorating itself in the guts of a dead enemy. The cell leaves the battlefield and enters the
Death
superhighway
by
of your
finger
immune
cut. What's
system
sad is that can actually happen.
that connects all your tissues with your immune headquarters, your lymph nodes. The dendritic cell coming from the battlefield is looking
Rambo
for a helper
cells.
T cell, which is a sort of all-purpose
I
command
want a video game that looks like this.
the cell within your immune army. But not any helper T cell, one that happens to have just the right weapon for the bacteria that infected your wound.
An M16.
So it goes around and rubs itself, still covered in bacteria parts, against every helper T
Where is
cell it
Splinter
meets.
Cell? Seriously, are they gonna can they revive Splinter Cell but not turn it into a dogshit open world game? I really, really want to play another Splinter Cell game, which I know is like cop as fuck. You can feel free to ACAB me, but I love the Splinter Cell games.
Most T cells are a bit disgusted and not
I wanna replay
interested.
them.
But after a few hours, something clicks. A helper T cell recognizes the bacteria parts.
T-Virus.
This cell
Isn't
is the
Resident
weapon that's needed right now. The dendritic cell is overjoyed and activates the helper T cell. Okay, wait. How come your immune system has a cell
Chickenpox can be dangerous to you as an adult if you're not vaccinated against it.
that
Otherwise, it's just mainly an inconvenience.
has a weapon against the specific bacteria that infect
However, if you get chickenpox, it's generally understood that you'll never get it again. It's very, very rare to get it more than once.
you? Well, your immune system has a perfect weapon against every possible disease in the universe, against the Black Death, the coronavirus, or an infection that will emerge in 100 years on Mars. We'll talk
is gonna
about this a
happen.
bit more in the next video because it's very complex.
Although I doubt we're gonna fucking survive till we get to civilization on Mars levels. I'm really doubting that.
So for now, just know that you have billions of unique helper T cells that each have weapons against every possible enemy. After the right T cell is activated, your second line of defense awakes
Immune
and
too.
rises like a teenager that needs to get up on a school day, very slowly. Your heavy weapons are incredibly effective, but they're not fast. The activated helper T cell begins to close
This is honestly reminding me somewhat, like, I don't know what it is about the animation. It's reminding me of the game Sanctum. Who played the game Sanctum? First-person shooter / tower defense game. It's actually pretty good.
Itself over and over again. One
know
becomes
why I
two,
made that
two
connection.
become four, until there are thousands of them. Now they split into two groups. The first group quickly moves to help out your soldiers. At the battlefield, things are getting out of hand. A tired macrophage is ready to give up. After fighting for days, it just wants to go to sleep, like many of its buddies have done already. But now the helper T-cells arrive. One of them comes to the tired macrophage and whispers something using special chemical signals. In a heartbeat, the demoralized soldier
Depressophage.
feels fresh again. But there's something else. A hot, white anger. The macrophage knows what it needs to do. Kill. Invigorated, it throws itself against the enemies once again. All over the battlefield, this begins to happen. Meanwhile, the second group
Need
of
a
helper
T to put chemicals in me? Good lord, that was not subtle at all, Jesus. Here are your names: Rambo Cell, T Cell, Ultra Cell, Dendronic Cell, and Incel. Why do I have to be Incel? Because you're a fucking loser, that's why. Who cares what your fucking name is? Yeah, it's easy for you to say. You're fucking Rambo Cell. Look, if it's not a big deal, we can switch names. I'm fine with Rambo Cell.
T-cells was working on activating another line of defense, B-cells, your antibody factories. Antibodies are protein superweapons that look like tiny crabs with two pincers to grab enemies. Just like the helper T-cells, there are B-cells in your body that are able to make just the right antibodies for every possible enemy. And the helper T-cell is looking for exactly these B-cells. After a day or two, the right
Oh, hey, I wonder. Just a crazy idea. And I mean, I doubt my testosterone would have gone up at all. But recently I came off T-blockers for about a week and a bit. Right? And once your body has enough of one hormone or the other...
I see
Ramai,
you
hello!
broadcasts. Welcome,
Thank you
friends.
for the raid, friend. How are you doing? I was going to say, once your body is producing enough or has enough of one of the two hormones, estrogen or testosterone, in it, it sort of stops producing the other one, like by and large, right? And because I'm already on testosterone, I've already got estradiol in my system. I was wondering if, like, because I was off T blockers for a bit, maybe my testosterone levels went up a bit, making me more susceptible to COVID. Lol. Is it heated? Heated as in, is it hot? It's not really particularly hot. I mean, it's warm here, you know. Never needed T blockers to suppress testosterone. E by itself did the trick, which is why I'm wondering, do I even need to be on them anymore? You know, I'm genuinely curious. Do I need to stay on T blockers? How was WoW? How did it treat you? And by the way, Kez, have a good one. Thank you so kindly for being here. Everyone say bye, Kez. I'm genuinely curious, and I should have asked my doctor, actually. Can I come off... I did say I was a bit smelly. I started developing boy smell. It fucking sucked. It's weird. Like, I'm curious. Orchie is calling my name. It might be. It might be. Were there other effects? Oh, yeah, there were other effects. We won't go into those.
B-cell is found and begins to clone
I'm feeling like I need to stop blockers because I think they're affecting my libido too much, and that sucks.
itself. As soon as enough clones have been made, each B-cell begins
LFR done for the night, getting off and going to bed. Radio, dude, have a good rest. I don't particularly eat lots of onion and garlic, although I do like it.
pumping out up to 2,000 antibodies per second. About a week after you injured yourself...
Oh, my libido's been basically dead for a year. It sucks. Because I wasn't really using it. Because I had this whole...
appreciates your
Hey!
recommendation.
Sassy, thank you for the host. Like, not gonna lie, my I don't completely blame myself for this, honestly. I blame like the social shame of being a trans person who dared to have a sexuality, so I just sort of shut out all sexuality for about a year or so, which is fucking awful.
And bacteria invaded, your second line of defense finally arrives in full force. The tiny army
So I
begins
think
to
my libido
saturate
is
the
not just
battlefield,
hormones.
pinching and stunning desperate bacteria. The antibodies clump them together and make them unable to move or fight, while your soldiers massacre the defenseless victims. The tide is turning fast. As the last enemies are cleaned up, your soldiers realize they are no longer needed and begin to kill themselves to save resources.
Do they have to use that particular phrasing? And they kill themselves. Like, that could be triggering.
But not all of them. A few helper T cells remain and turn
Like-
into memory cells. They will guard the tissue for years, making sure the same bacteria will never again gain a foothold here. Similarly, a few B cells will stay alive and keep producing a low amount of antibodies, making you immune against this bacteria, maybe for the rest of your life. One day you wake up and notice that the
Welcome back,
wound has
TP.
grown over and left nothing but a faint red mark. You were completely unaware of the drama your cells had to deal with. For you, the whole ordeal was a slight annoyance, while for millions of cells, it was a desperate fight for life and death. But
Wake
this
up
is
in the
just the
bathroom in front
beginning
of this
of the
thing. Have you
epic
never done
story
that?
that unfolds inside you every day and is told in full in Immune, a journey into the mysterious system that keeps you alive, written by Philipp Detmer, the founder and head writer of Kurzgesagt. The book is a beautifully illustrated, deep
I'm not advertising your book for you, even though I just watched your whole video. There we go. What do we think? How do we feel about that? I'm going to take these axes, that's annoying me. But fully on the floor, not waste time. You don't just wake up floating in the middle of the bathroom some days. The Wilhelm scream. Don't tell me there was a Wilhelm scream. I'm not going back to check it. Anyways, how are we going here? Kurzgesagt, yeah, whatever. However, it's, yeah. Your libido has dropped, but that's because you've been single 15 years, used to cross-dress, and finding a lady who's accepting is hard. Well, yeah, I can understand that completely. Well, I can't understand that completely. I was never cross-dressing and single for 15 years, but I get you what you mean, yeah. Dating is difficult, and I recently came across a message from someone in a Discord server, where they were saying they had this cute date lined up with someone, and right up to the last minute, this person was totally okay with it until like that last minute. That it's like, oh, actually, I'm uncomfortable with the fact that you're trans, and I'm like, holy shit, that is so fucking rude. Why would you be interested in going on a date with somebody and then just the fact that they're trans causes you to turn off? That's a fucking asshole move. That's a genuinely fucking asshole move, not gonna lie. I have seen H-Bomb's video on vaccines. It's fucking good. We can't watch that on stream. It's way too long, but it's fucking amazing. Anyway. Hello, Sabercat. How you going? So sick of something Doctor Who. Oh, okay, so both the actors are straight, especially Cowley, leaving it right to the end of Chibnall's run. Let's just like not beat around the bush. It's like very little of queer rep in mainstream media is going to be good. I'm just going to say it right now, like very, very little of queer representation in mainstream media is going to be good by any stretch. Whether they hire the wrong actors for the wrong roles, for example, anytime they've hired a cis person to play a trans person in a show, or straight actors to play gay roles and what have you. Which, you know, it's a little bit less weird, I guess, because it's acting, but I don't know. Anyway. Imagine being bothered by the fact that someone is trans. On the bright side, you might have saved yourself from a chaser. I mean, potentially. Potentially. You've been stood up twice, now kind of tempted to just abandon dating and let things happen how they happen. That's one way to do it. I mean, I've stopped going on dating apps for obvious reasons. I have a girlfriend now. But my experience with them, my experience with dating apps and things of that nature, is that they were entirely predicated on trying to force something to happen, honestly. And I can't speak to whether this person I was talking about before, I can't speak to whether or not they were, like, they met this person on a dating app or what. I don't know. I don't know what the finer details of the story were there. But yeah, like, I'm not trying to deride anyone who uses dating apps. I know they've worked for some people, definitely. But it definitely seems like you're trying to force a relationship to happen. And especially in the modern world, especially now with COVID and all of that, and everyone's not really able to socialize with new folks, not really able to go to the same kind of events you used to go to where you could meet someone. I get it a little bit more. but, you know, it wasn't that long ago where you could still go and do all of those social things and meet new people. But, of course, having the confidence to talk to someone new and develop that foundation for a potential relationship is still very, very... and not everyone's going to have that confidence. Which is difficult, you know. Last one that stood me up apparently didn't like that I'm polyam but don't do hierarchical. Hierarchical polyam? I'm so confused. I don't know much about poly. You know, you could arguably consider me polyam, I suppose. Or at least non-monogamous. You know, I disagree with the concept of monogamy at its core. I think it's inherently toxic and damaging. Pollyann, what a cute name. The Breakfast of Winners, Llama-kun, and Chocolate Croissant. Hierarchical as in one main partner and several others. I think that's the gist that I'm understanding. If I got that right, because I think I've heard of someone referring to polyam in that way. Like they have one main partner that's like the partner, and then they've got others that they're either romantic or sexual with, where it's not as intimate a relationship, I suppose. Which I guess I get to a point, because the concept of having my person is very appealing to me. You know, my one person, but I also don't want to just sort of limit myself to one partner. I'm selfish and greedy. I want lots of hands on me. Anyway. I can't even hear that music, by the way. There we go. I want to be able to hear the music because I'm trying to like talk to you. I'm trying to vibe. And it's really dead quiet. I can't hear a fucking thing. Anyway. You have hands based. Hands are good. Look, I got 2 of those. Hotornot.com, is that still a thing or has it been replaced by TikTok subs? Like Tinder and all those kind of things. They're just hot or not apps. Primary partners are dumb, but I'm dumb doggers. Well, there you go. Like, there's a lot of people I flirt with, honestly. And, you know, I've got an in. What? There's nothing wrong with that idea, but society tells you you need to be utterly and entirely devoted to one person. We still live in a society that is structured around a very binary, very rigid, romantic model. Like, just because we have gay marriage doesn't mean that the whole marriage model isn't inherently toxic and damaging and controlling and designed to put you in a very specific place to keep things running smoothly, quote unquote. When you're a streamer, do you have hands, but do you have legs? You saw them before. I stood up. I can hear myself, Maddie. Fuck. It's just a meme. Hand reveal at 20k. Will I ever get 20k followers on this website? That'd be amazing. I'm at 5.5k followers on this website, on Twitch. I'll tell you what though, if I keep posting TikToks, I'm posting TikToks. I have now surpassed myself on Twitter on TikTok followers. I've got like 3 point something k TikTok followers, 3.1k TikTok followers, and what was I gonna say? Fuck. I've got 2.7k, 2.8k on Twitter. Anyway, like my spiky punk look today. You like it? I like it. I've got a spiky headband, but honestly, it's so trash. I just want to throw it out. I'm disappointed in it. Like, several of the spikes have fallen off. And yes, I do have a Discord. If you're interested in hanging out with us, posting some memes, having some shit talk and trashing whatever, fucking doing whatever. Talk about anarchy if you want. I don't care. Just be nice and don't spam. You can join the Discord. I should do something with Discord soon. I've got a Discord server and I should just like... I should actually do a gaming stream in there sometime soon. Latest look is Garfield, but unfortunately I lost one of the suspended things from me Garter belts. Which are Garfield related? There you go. I'm not verified on Twitter though. And therefore not verified in the eyes of God, which is John Twitter. Talk about anarchy, don't spam. What? Apparently the mohawk style is coming back in fashion due to a certain darts player. I'd do a mohawk. Fuck yeah. Why not? Let's do it. Why not? Nah. I like having my long hair, honestly. I think my long hair is great. Oh, this is a good one, actually. Can I open this over here? I just like... Alstrich posted this in Discord, and it's amazing. I can't see chat anymore. Hang on, let me get you back up. There we go. Bang. This is a duck. If you see a cat, that means you're gay. What do you see, chat? What do you see? I'm curious. Just like... You see it? Do you see a cat? You're gay. Lol, gay. A dog? Double gay. Hang on. Let's start a poll. Are you gay or are you straight? Are you gay or are you het? Ew, heteros. I want to see what the results are. Cat. So far we've got at least 5 homosexuals in this chat. I can still hear myself on Maddie's PC. Just started with Twitch streaming. Your friend got you into it and it's definitely been a fun experience. What have you been streaming? Tell us about it. Why can I still hear myself? 13 homosexuals. Also just started. What have you been streaming? Tell us about it. We love our gays here. Gays are based. Homosexuals are based. Bisexuals are based. Heterosexuals unbased. Heterosexuals cringe. Pansexuals based. Demisexuals based. Everyone who is not hetero is based. That's so mean. By all of the above. Hell yes. What about Trekkies? I don't know. Wait, Vox is the best response. What's that? There are 4 lights. I haven't watched enough Trek. I should watch some Star Trek. Should become a total white nerd and watch Star Trek. The only heterosexuals you accept are the ones that have experimented. Because they are het with intention. Concept of compet is wild to me. So let's go over compet. How are we defining compet? Because I like to think I was compet before. I'm fairly certain I was compet. How are we defining it? Because I know it's got the way I see it, the way I understand compet. Anyway, I'm closing that now. Feck all these new terms. It's not a new term. Compulsory heterosexuality. Society just told you that straight was the default. Yes. It's the theory that heterosexuality is assumed and enforced upon women specifically. I don't know why it says women specifically. By patriarchal and heteronormative society. The term was popularized by Adrienne Rich in her 1980 essay titled Compulsory Heterosexuality and Lesbian Experience. I feel like it doesn't necessarily exclusively apply to women. But I can see, like, this is the Wikipedia article. According to Rich's theory, women in every culture are believed to have an innate preference for relationships with men, and this leads women to devalue and to minimize the importance of their relationships with other women. She suggests that women are socialized to identify with males and cast their social, political, and intellectual allegiances with them and are discouraged from identifying with other females. And I feel like prior to coming out, I definitely experienced some variant of that while presenting as a cis dude, right? It's another facet of patriarchy, and I think that could be extrapolated to men too, you know? Because look at the way that, even still today, male-to-male intimacy, not sex, but like, there was this great picture I saw a little while back of like, here's my boyfriend and my dad hanging out, right? And the dad's laying on the ground with a pillow under his head, and the boyfriend has his head resting on the dad's stomach, right? And it's just cute. It's just 2 men being close to one another, and it's like, a lot of people would see that as a weird thing. Like, a lot of people would look at that and be like, oh my god, that's so disturbing. Why would you let your boyfriend be that close to your dad? It's like, literally, what does that affect, right? And as a result, men are expected to form relationships with other men that are entirely distal to any sort of intimacy.
Thank you for continuing
Morning,
your
Sil. Thank you for the
membership.
sub.
Morning all.
Morning. Wait, it's 10:16 at night. What? Game Grumps guys are your go-to for an illustration of non-toxic masculinity, routinely saying I love you, etc. Good. Comphead is the overstating of one's heterosexuality and masking / denying of your homosexuality because straight is culturally the default and romanticized. It really is. Honestly, like, I thought... This is strange to me. I thought we were kind of past the phase of, say, cinema and things of that nature. Television shows and all of that. Featuring completely needless romantic subplots. And, you know, a number of things I've watched in recent memory still deal with that very same thing. It's like there are a number of characters in various shows and movies I've watched where it's like, why did this man and this woman need to kiss? Like, I'm just thinking about, like, there are so many situations in particular. I'm just going to say, like, the one in Captain America the Winter Soldier. Like, why? Like, I know it was, like, a cover sort of deal, but, like, here's Captain America and Black Widow going down an escalator, and they just had to put a kiss in there for no good reason. And they had to come up with a justification for it. And they're like, who asked for this? They just force heterosexuality into everything to reinforce the idea in your mind. And it's creepy. It's weird. There are other examples, but I'm lazy and I can't think of them. Oh yeah, everybody go like that tweet, lol. If that tweet gets liked by Keffels, that'll be incredible. There we go. Blage. Who is Smudge? Smudge is my cat. He's somewhere. Men's sense of boundaries is so weird. Like, my dad will literally use the toilet while my boyfriend's in the shower, but he would never hug him or anything. What? That's so strange. Hulk is right there and none of the other dude heroes make out with him. Right? You're telling me Hulk is right there and none of those other male superheroes are getting down and sucking that big green cucumber? Like, come on. Probably appealing to the incels. It may well be. You have the whole man up trope that gets beaten to most boys just by... Yeah, exactly. And that feels like, honestly... I mean, I can't verify this specifically, but it definitely feels like there's more and more of that recently. More and more of that man up rhetoric, especially recently. Pretty sure Thor would give him a swing. He is polyamorous after all. Lol. Only if it's Ragnarok Thor with a healthy fat body. Wait, they won't is the number one reason. Excuse me. The number one reason you watch every MCU movie. Hulk and Thor are totally going to bang in the next phase. It's going to be in Thor Love and Thunder, and it's going to be an absolute pansexual wonder trip. Heterosexuality subtext is also forced in anything. My niece, 6, has a boy best friend in kindergarten, and their mums made a cute little photo album for them when they went to school. Oh, I hate that so much. It's hilarious that there are people out there who say trans people are forcing the idea of transgenderism on children. And literally, how many parents of young children have you met where they'll literally start pairing off their toddlers? It's like, oh my god, I can't wait for little Isaac to go off with little Carmilla. Right? They're gonna get married one day, and they're like 3. He's playing with toy trucks, and she's bashing the wall with a toy hammer. Like, they don't have any concept of this shit. Isaac and Carmilla were the first names that came to mind. That was a good match, yeah. Getting queer adjacent directors in the MCU is a good thing. Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor are very queer adjacent. They really are. They really are. Fork the Thork. Yeah. Hello, Allie. How you doing? But yeah, like that whole forced heterosexuality. So yeah, like literally comphet in most of the media that we watch. A significant portion of the media we watch is comphet. And it fucking sucks. Because, you know, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see more dudes kissing chicks. Especially when they're mid-dudes. Like, Guardians' Rocket needs a queer subplot. Yes. Do it. Fuck yes. Come on. Come on, Marvel Cinematic Universe. Do it. Do it. Oh my god. Excuse me. Rocket is the best character. Never thought you'd have empathy for a CGI raccoon. Hey, that's Sean Gunn you're talking about. Well, Sean Gunn voiced by Charlie Day, isn't it? Is it Charlie Day? Bradley Cooper, sorry. Bradley Cooper. Who's Charlie Day in Marvel? No one. Have a good day. It's 4 a.m. You need to crash radio. Get some rest, Porcelain. Thank you so kindly for being here. Hulk consensually fucks two Thors, directed by Taika Waititi. I thought it was fine, but too many jokes they didn't need. Why can't a scene just naturally resolve itself with Hulk dog? Yeah, I don't know why my mind went to Charlie Day. That's not... I guess I watched like part of Pacific Rim recently. I just watched like the intro because I love Pacific Rim. I'm allowed to have one bad taste movie, and Pacific Rim is it. It's my guilty pleasure. When I move, I'm getting a statue of Gypsy Danger and Knifehead. I'm gonna have them clashing on my shelves. I'm not gonna have these shelves. I'll get different ones, because like I want basically the only collectibles I have remaining when I move to be my FromSoft stuff. But when I get there, I'm at least having the Pacific Rim thing, because that'd be gnarly. Oh, also, I'm going to be getting, and this is still related to FromSoft, I'm going to be getting a Lady Maria of the Astral Clock Tower posable figure and a Hunter posable figure. Speaking of, I'm going to pre-order my figure right now. My Figma Hunter Figma figure, delivering to Sydney. No, you're not. But this one, look at this. Look at this, bestie. Look at them. And because Bloodborne is so, you know, like, this character's a girl, okay? I don't care if, like, the default hunter is supposed to be a guy. The character models are so androgynous in Bloodborne, I love it. And you could literally just say that's a chick. You know, that's a chick. That's a female hunter. That's posable. Look at it. It's got so many points of articulation, and it's so detailed. Oh, it's coming out in March, and I'm hoping... This is the tricky bit. It releases on the 31st of March, right? Which means I'm probably not going to get it on the 31st of March. I doubt it. It'll be after that. But, the problem is I plan to be out of the state by the end of February. I plan to have moved by the end of February, and I don't know where I'm going to be. So, I'm going to buy it and get it sent to my mum. And then she can send it to me. Trashy films like Trash Humpers, lol. I think I will get over COVID pretty quickly, Samantha, hopefully, anyway. The last couple of days, I felt like trash. Today, I've actually felt pretty good. So, fingers crossed I'm in the recovery period and I'll be okay. And maybe tomorrow I'll be good. And yeah, like, Dusty, you love watching trashy films, no need to feel guilty about it. Yeah, exactly. We can all have guilty pleasure from movies. After your partner got you into Minecraft after, we could do that, yeah? I can do that. Is Soph down for Minecraft? Minecraft! Should do a Minecraft stream soon. I'm wondering, am I allowed to do a Minecraft stream on Steph-tacular's server? Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, true. I think I've seen that one. Monster Hunter could never, honestly. I used to have my hunter from Monster Hunter. I think it was with Iceborne. There was a few sets or a few pieces you could put together to create a pretty good hunter lookalike from Bloodborne. And that was sick. Oh, that was pretty good. But yeah, I'm going to have to figure out where to send this. I probably can, but a more important question is, would it be TOS to stream on a VC with Sofa and you? True! I'm thinking to myself, like, we played a bit last night. I was up to playing Minecraft last night, and I'm genuinely not sure if our conversations are TOS appropriate. Shit. Bloodborne graphic novel would be great if 80% of the pages were blank and the few pages with words were like, beast, you foul beast, and it's all your fault. Yes, just do it. I have read the first chapter of the Bloodborne graphic novel, the the first one. I think they've done a few. And yeah, that first one was pretty good. And actually, like, gave some sense to the term pale blood, which doesn't, like, honestly, I hate the fact that pale blood is a bit of a red herring in Bloodborne. It drives me up the wall, like, it's, you seek pale blood to transcend the hunt, and then it's just, like, forgotten about after that point. A couple of NPCs mention it, and then it's like, okay, we're done with this. And I realize that that's just FromSoft's way of storytelling. There are a number of elements similar to that. But in other games, I mean. But particularly with Bloodborne, it comes across as stupid important. You know, the whole pale blood thing is sold to you from the outset, and then it just sort of dwindles away. Once you get to Cathedral Ward, you almost never hear about it again. It's weird. I don't know. Anyway, there are more important things than pale blood, like Vacuous Rom, and how much of a cunt that boss fight is. Anyway, I want to order my Hunter figure. I want to buy it. I want to order it. It's expensive though. Moon presents considered to be pale blood if you use to transcend the hunt. Arguably, yes. It was a cunt because I refused to kill ads. Shut up. The ads are hard too. You got to hit their bodies and not their heads. So wait. I saw Monster Hunter references. Hang on. Barroth's female armor has armor all over the body except for the crotch. That's really weird. Same with Gyros Beta armor set. For some reason, Capcom loves showing the crotch. The crotch is the best area. I want an option in those video games when I make a female character to show bulge. Just like big bulge. Bulgy, wulgy, ooh-woo. I should be allowed to make my female characters have a massive schlong. Okay? Yes, I know you're going to probably tell me to play Cyberpunk. I'm not going to play Cyberpunk. I'm good, bestie. Just a filthy capitalist. Bloodborne was my first Souls game. Been addicted to the entire genre ever since, but Bloodborne is still the best. Sekiro is close. Looking forward to Elden Ring. I've played the network test of Elden Ring, and it's fucking good. It's honestly, if you've played Dark Souls 2, this is not degrading Elden Ring, but it does feel like Dark Souls 2 too, if that makes sense. In a good way. It's like if they took what worked about Dark Souls 2 and then incorporated all the better elements from the other games, and then you got Elden Ring. And it's this big open world dealio. The boss fights are fucking hard and intense. The animations are really tight. So yeah. And I am one of the people who was like, Dark Souls 2 is the lowest rung of the tier of From Software games. So I don't know. Like for me, the order of operations, the order in which I rank the Souls games, the Soulsborne games. What about Nulge? Lol, oh my god, Nulge. What's Nulge? Okay, I would rank Bloodborne, Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 3, Sekiro, and then Dark Souls 2. Right? I have not played Demon's Souls, so I can't speak to whether or not that's any good. But that's my ranking, personally. Bloodborne is peak. It has so many good elements about it that all work perfectly together. Dark Souls 2 is still at the bottom rung of the ladder for me. Until I get to Demon's Souls, and we'll see how that goes. It might be terrible, I don't know. I'm going to play the Bluepoint remake on PS5 eventually. And then we got Elden Ring on the horizon, and honestly, what I did like about Dark Souls 2 is present in Elden Ring, what I've played of it, and it's done better, right? Like, they've taken good elements of Dark Souls 2 and refined them so they don't feel like trash. What about Ghost of Tsushima? I mean, I haven't finished that, but that's not really a Souls game. It's good, though. Ghost of Tsushima is quite good. I just need to finish it. Anyway, I also need to piss, so I'm going to go stand to pee like a good little trans woman, and I'll be back in just a moment. Don't go away, folks. What is up, my F-slurs? Welcome back. I shouldn't say things like that. That's going to get me caught by the mods one of these days. Especially if I'm currently streaming at 88 viewers. There's a higher likelihood of a staff member being here. I've actually already had Twitch staff in chat once or twice. Does anyone actually like Sucker Punch the movie? I watched it once. And I came out of it very confused. Oh yeah, they were nice. There was someone who works on like mobile stuff. They were like a mobile engineer or whatever for Twitch. So not like moderation stuff. Anyway, you're trying to play Dark Souls 2 at the moment, but it doesn't feel worth it. You want to skip to 3. I totally understand, honestly, if you want to forego Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 3 feel mechanically much more aligned with one another. I'm going to say that. Dark Souls 2, I've said this before, I'll say it again, I'll keep saying it. Dark Souls 2 is the best Souls-like on the market. Right? In terms of... Which is a stupid thing to say. But it's like another studio made a game themed like Dark Souls. If you want to play a game that is... analogous to it, that has the same basic concepts behind it, Dark Souls 2 is the best game similar to Dark Souls you're going to find. But it doesn't, yeah, I agree with the fact that it doesn't really feel like a Dark Souls game. So, anyway, yeah. Ghost of Tsushima is good, but the combat is honestly your least favorite part. Easy, like if I play the Arkham Batman games and then go to your friend's place and they haven't, and they're complaining about how hard the Shadow of Mordor is, and you pick up for the first time, and it's like you're on God mode. That's like Ghost of Tsushima being a Souls-like game. Long, convoluted explanation. I'm confused now. Skip 2, played 3, came back too much later. It's the only one you haven't played through because you kind of lost interest. So my impression of Elden Ring is like, I've played through Dark Souls 2, I've platinumed the entire thing. And the reason I say there are good elements of Dark Souls 2 in it, but it's still got, like, the thing about Dark Souls 2 you have to think about is that Dark Souls 2 was developed by a B team on From Software, while Bloodborne was developed by Hidetaka Miyazaki and the A team at From Software. So Bloodborne's really, really refined and nice to play, and but whoever was working on Dark Souls 2 at the time, they were basically the studio was like, okay, Dark Souls is a hit. It's blowing up, so we need to continue this franchise to make more money off it. But Miyazaki had already agreed to a contract with Sony to make Bloodborne, while Bandai Namco said to From Software, we need a Dark Souls 2, because we've got to capitalize on this name. So they had the B team make Dark Souls 2, and regrettably, they just sort of took a really different approach for some reason. It's still mechanically very similar to the first game, but with enough changes that it feels very distinct. And then you play Dark Souls 3, and it feels very mechanically akin to Dark Souls 1, which also feels... And Dark Souls 3 also takes elements from Bloodborne. Elden Ring feels like a culmination of a bunch of features that From Software has been incorporating in their games for a while. So there's a lot of things from all of the different games, and yes, Power Stance is in there, which is where you can hold two weapons and have like unique movesets. Because they got rid of that in Dark Souls 3 for some reason in favor of twin weapons, which were not a bad idea, but kind of dulls the entire thing. But at any rate, that's my thoughts on what I've played of the Elden Ring network test. What I have played of Elden Ring is very, very good. It feels like From Software's hitting... I don't want to say not their peak. Like, I feel like Elden Ring is the culmination of 10 years of From Software really honing their craft. Right? So I think it's not going to be a bad game. I can almost guarantee that before it even comes out. Why is your net dying? I don't know. Mine's not over here at the moment. Felt so cheap at the beginning of DS2 when the witch mocks the player for how they'll lose their souls over and over. Yeah, I agree with that too. It was a bit ham-fisted. Like, there was no need for that kind of thing. Like, From Software games are at their best when they're not directly telling you every fine detail. And that kind of thing's just like, wow, that's on the nose. Anyway. Yeah. Does it have dual rapiers or rapier/dagger? I don't know, actually. I didn't get to play much with the power stance. There was a class that did have power stance in it, and I think actually, because the way the network test worked was there were like 5 or 6 sessions you could join that were only open for 3-hour windows across 3 days. And throughout my first 2 or 3 sessions, I played the one class, right? And then in my final... No, actually, I only played about 3 of the 5 sessions that were available, sorry. And the first 2 sessions, I played the one class, the like Wolf Knight or whatever it was. And then in my final session, I experimented with the other classes, but I didn't actually get to the one that had 2 weapons you could power stance with. So I didn't actually get to see how it played all that well. I've seen video of it. It looks pretty good. I don't know if they're doing the thing where you can power stance 2 different types of weapons. But the general concept behind power stance is you have, like, say, a long sword. If you got 2 long swords, and you go into power stance mode, you can have a unique moveset. And like where you're swinging both the weapons, and you've got different types of animations and stuff like that. And the way power stance works is like you've got stat requirements on your weapon, so you got strength and dex requirements, and I'm pretty sure it's still called dexterity in Elden Ring. Basically, you need to have 1.5 times the required stat to power stance, and then you get access to those special movesets, which in some circumstances allows you to pair like a longsword with a dagger, or a longsword and a rapier, or a curved sword and a dagger, and whatever else. I don't know if that's how it works in Dark Souls 2. Certain weapons can pair, even if they're not the same type. I don't know if that's how it works in Elden Ring. Got a 5-year-old Vax, second shot in 6 hours, so good night, have a good one, Redolent. And yeah, we love Jack. Thank you again, Jack, for rating us earlier. Anyway, sorry, I just kicked my microphone. Excuse me. But yeah, I feel like I've been rambling about Dark Souls and stuff for a while. I mean, I could keep doing that. I love it. Dark Souls is my life. But I should probably move on from that. I nearly did a Dark Souls stream on like Wednesday. But I never got around to it. For some reason, I never got around to it. Anyway, looking at the wiki, there's no rapiers, but there's dual blade stuff. It looks badass. I do recall Dark Souls 2 having rapiers that, you know, they had a forward lunge, like a double stab lunge. And I can't remember. There was Ricard's rapier, right? So there was a regular one, and the power stance attack was mainly like 2 stabs forward from multiple different angles, which was copied over to Dark Souls 3 as one of the paired movesets. And then there was Ricard's rapier, where you do a bunch of quick stabs all at once. And it's the same with like the single stance rapier. So if you got 2, you just go jabbing at them like crazy. It's great. Probably got to head out too, but you really enjoyed the stream. Thank you for being here, Jenny. Thank you so much. I have not played Demon's Souls yet. I should play it soon. I should like try to bring... This is the thing, is like I don't know if I'd be able to stream Demon's Souls because I don't have a capture card capable of running the PS5. My HD 60 only runs PS4 and Xbox One. One glance at that twin blade and I can tell the animations with... Yeah, I played with the twin blade. I can't wait. I want to know if I can power stance that. I'm pretty sure you can, and I'm so keen. Keep in mind, if you're looking at the Elden Ring wiki, if that's what you're looking at, chances are that it's not complete yet because the game's not out yet. Now, don't get me wrong, a lot of people would have leaked information for the wiki, of course, from playing the network test on console even. The network test was exclusive to consoles. But yeah. Oh, you know what's a shame is I played the network test on my PS4. I didn't even get to play it on PS5, and it looked really good on PS4. So, like, I can't wait to play it on PS5, honestly. I want to see it in full high fidelity. I'm not going to bother playing it on PC. Because I always tell myself, right, that I would love to play these games on PC so I can mod them. And then I've got... Well, I suppose I did mod Dark Souls 3 once, but I never actually do mod them. But that is a fun concept, though. Anyway. I feel like we should do some news. Do we want to do some news? I've got some really disturbing, grim news here, if you like. I've got a bunch of COVID news actually. Let's lump that together. We could do a bunch of COVID stuff right up. Twin Blade appeals because it reminds you of the insect. Yeah. Or like Darth Maul. Lol. It's honestly a lot of fun. It plays very similarly to how it did in Dark Souls 2. Which, that's the thing that annoys me, is like Dark Souls 2 introduced the Twin Blade, and the fact that it wasn't in Dark Souls 3 pissed me off so bad. So I'm glad they're bringing that back, because it's such a unique moveset. And for some reason they got rid of it. I did not kiss her, I did not. Oh, hi Fidelity. Yeah, I don't know what capture card you would need for a PS5. Probably an Elgato HD60S. Yeah, I'd say HD60S would allow you to run PS5. Which I'm not willing to spend the money on. And if I get a capture card, I'd probably get an internal, not an external. There is the Elgato Game Capture 4K60 Pro MK2, which would allow you to do that. Because then I wouldn't have to like plug in a separate device. I'd rather just have it in the machine. But it's also $365 and I'm not paying that much. Had someone nickname you Pogo because of that insect label. It's so fun! Oh, it has the benefit of pass-through HDMI. What does that mean? I'm not sure what that means. Don't know if the internal ones have that. Fair point. Anyway, did you hear Novak Djokovic tried to get into Australia without getting vaccinated to play in the Australian Open? Should we talk about this? Means you don't have to use OBS preview to play the game, less latency. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I've never used an internal capture card before. Pogo's terrific. I mean Lance because you can run with it based. What did I use for the longest time? I think it was Longsword and then Greatsword and Twin Blades, stuff like that. I loved Twin Blades, especially when you get up and you like spin down the spine of a monster. That's so much fun. I should reinstall that. The problem is it's definitely just a game about grinding. Like it's got fun mechanics and fun gameplay, but then you get right down to brass tacks and it's just a grind game. Which I guess is fine. That's okay. Whatever. But when I realize that the game's not really gonna overtly progress in terms of something. I don't know. There's certain games where the progression system irks me. And that's one of them. Which also kind of...
Thank you for continuing your
Lex.
membership.
Thank you so kindly for subbing for 7 months. Currently on a 3-month streak. Thank you so much. How are you, by the way? What was I doing? Monster Hunter World is I'm bored and nothing interests me, so I just want to kill a few hours. I mean, I should do that, honestly. I should genuinely just do that, hey. I'm just... Because, like, I mentioned this... Was it yesterday? Not yet. No, I wasn't streaming yesterday. I think I mentioned this on Tuesday. Like, I find that when I'm depressed, I don't play games. So I'm definitely going through a depressive period right now because I'm going to play some Minecraft later, which was fun last night. We played last night. Me and Maddie played with another friend of ours. But the majority of the time, I'm just not motivated to play video games. And that definitely means I'm, like, in a state where I'm like, I can't even enjoy things, you know, which sucks. I am moving. I need to get the fuck out of this state. I'm getting out of here. I'm changing my life. I'm following my dreams of not being in New South Wales because this place has been a nightmare my entire life. You have a Mage Rise on your Switch and you play it but cannot... And you need to play it but you cannot bother. That's another thing too. I keep buying games and I never play them. Monster Train is your bored and nothing interests me game. Just go through with the plant deck and crush enemies. Part of me just wants to replay Skyrim over and over again for the rest of time. There's something cozy about Skyrim. I don't know what it is. Same with Dark Souls. I bought Dark Souls on my Switch and I have it installed on my Switch and I haven't played it. I need new Joy-Cons, though, is the thing. My Joy-Cons are fucked. They've got drift. So I need to buy a new set of Joy-Cons before I can start really getting back into games on the Switch. There's that new Skyrim mod game, right? Wait, which one? You mean Anniversary Edition? Get the Pro Controller? Well, yeah, I've heard that too. We've got a Pro Controller here that I could hook up to my Switch, which would be good. I do. My Joy-Cons have been with the Switch since I got it a few years ago. So, and they've been through some tough times too. My kids have played it. So, oh no! A game using there's the Forgotten City, which was originally a Skyrim mod, which has become its own game. Yes, it doesn't use Skyrim assets. There's Enderall. There is Enderall, which is its own game, which is a separate entity on Steam as well. But yeah, I do want to play Forgotten City. I played through the original mod, and it's mind-blowingly good. It is so amazing. Just genuinely a terrific experience. Yeah. BF sent in his Joy-Cons to get the drift fixed, even though Nintendo was not obligated to do that under EU law, but they still did it. I wonder if they can do that for mine. Yeah, Nintendo generally won't replace them. And Nintendo has been very slack on fixing Joy-Con drift as well. They just kind of, once everybody started complaining about it, Nintendo was just like, well, you get what you pay for. Fuck yeah. I feel like the effort of fixing them isn't worth it. Probably not, yeah, honestly. It's probably not worth it. The joysticks are pretty easy to swap if you have steady hands. Oh, really? Well, there you go. I've never tried. I'm not technically minded, so I don't know. Should we talk about this nonsense? $5 per joystick. Is it the joysticks that's causing the drift, is it? Haven't finished Enderall, but you love a spooky dark game. Can I recommend PT? Actually, I'm curious now. Hang on. Let's see. I want to see. We called Nintendo long delays due to COVID. PS4 Silent Hill PT, $1,200. Is that the only listing? I'm curious. Are there more listings? PS4, Sony PlayStation 4 White, plus demo PT Silent Hill Kojima, $1,039. PlayStation with PT, $1,322. Are people actually paying this? This one's only $272. Jet Black console with PT demo included. Like, why is that so cheap, dude? Come on, you could do better than that. $710. Come on, make that money. Make that dosh. Sell it for over $1,000. Anyway, awful with horror games. You have Darkwood and you will never play it because it drives you scared up the wall. What's Darkwood? I've never heard of that one. The dielectric thingy in the base of the joysticks wears and causes drift. You have to replace them every once in a while, even the newer ones. Same for the Pro Controllers. That's a pain in the ass. You love dark games. Do you like the Thief games? I want to play Thief again. I want to play Gloomwood. Is it Gloomwood? Looks very thiefy in style, but the problem... Speaking of Don't Starve, I really need to reach out to Loot Demon and set up a stream collab to play Don't Starve together again. Gloomwood, trapped in a dark Victorian city consumed by an ancient curse, you must plan your survival and daring escape using nothing but stealth, an arsenal of eccentric weapons, and your wit in this haunting adventure inspired by the immersive Sims and survival horror greats of the late 90s and early 2000s. This looks really fun, and I want to play it. I've played the demo, and yeah, it's quite good. Immersive Sims. Top-down survival game in a world consumed by trees impenetrable to the outside. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I mean, I played a bit of Don't Starve. Well, Don't Starve Together, specifically. And it was interesting enough. So I could see myself playing it again. I think I need to play that with friends. Obviously, Don't Starve Together, you play with your friends. But I don't think that's like Don't Starve, the original. I don't think that's the kind of game I could just play by myself. I don't think there's many games I could play by myself, honestly. Like, even when I was really into Dark Souls, my main thing was multiplayer. I like co-op. I like PvP. Play the together version. There's way more content, yeah. There we go. So if I do gaming streams again in the not too distant future, it's probably going to be some kind of multiplayer. And if I do want to finish Outer Wilds, the Echoes of the Eye DLC, because we got so close to finishing that, I think. We got through quite a bit of it, and then I just stopped playing for a while. That sounds good, Looper. That sounds good. We'll figure it out. We will. Okay, so, should we do some news? Since we're COVID positive, let's do some COVID news. Which is terrible, which is awful, which is horrendous. I don't want to talk about COVID, because I have it. I'd rather not acknowledge that it exists, but Novak Djokovic, that was a joke at the fact that he's not vaccinated, spends the night in immigration detention amid Australian visa drama. The tennis player Novak Djokovic. We can get back to talking games in a minute, but I do news occasionally. The Victorian government said it was unaware of federal correspondence with Tennis Australia that warned unvaccinated players would not be granted exemptions to enter the country if they had recently contracted COVID-19. It comes as Australia's Home Affairs Minister says Novak Djokovic is free to leave the country at any time after the Serbian tennis star spent the night in a Melbourne immigration detention hotel. Yeah, unaware, okay. I believe you. Djokovic is awaiting a resolution to his legal battle to enter the country for the Australian Open, which begins on Monday week. Oh hey, Novak, like the town in FNB. His legal challenge against deportation was yesterday adjourned until... Logitech G Hub telling me I've changed my DPI. Cool! His legal challenge against deportation was yesterday adjourned until Monday at 10 a.m. and Australian Border Force officers were barred from removing him from the country until 4 p.m. on Monday. And my girlfriend's playing Fallout New Vegas. Isn't she cute? Yesterday, correspondence emerged that showed Health Minister Greg Hunt contacted Tennis Australia CEO in November, warning about the criteria for the granting of visas to international tennis players. Victoria extracting... Please, can I just... I can't talk. Victoria Acting Premier Jacinta Allen said Tennis Australia did not share that information with the state government. That was correspondence between the Commonwealth Government and Tennis Australia. I'm advised that members of the Victorian Government hadn't seen that correspondence, she said. Ms. Allen said the state government only sought to assess whether players could be granted a vaccine exemption for events held in Victoria. It's the Commonwealth Government that is responsible for issuing visas, and how they engage in that dialogue with bodies like Tennis Australia is a matter for them. The unvaccinated 34-year-old had tried to enter Australia on the basis that Tennis Australia had exempted him from being vaccinated because he had contracted COVID-19 in the past 6 months. It is the individual traveller's responsibility to make sure they have in place all the necessary documentation that is needed to enter Australia, Ms. Andrews said. Djokovic is free to leave, said Home Affairs Minister. Also, he's 34? I thought he was way older, honestly. I thought he was like 54. I thought Djokovic had been around for like half a century. Yes, Friday night vunking. Home Affairs Minister Karen Andrews said there was nothing stopping the men's world number one from leaving if he chose not to pursue the case. Mr. Djokovic is not being held captive in Australia. He is free to leave at any time and that he chooses to do so, and Border Force will actually facilitate that, she said. Yeah, consequences of your actions. You can just leave the country. Ms. Andrews said Djokovic did have a visa issued to him, but that Border Force had determined he did not meet entry requirements because he was not fully vaccinated. Former deputy secretary. I can't read. Is one of the symptoms of COVID being that you suddenly become dyslexic? Because I mean, no, I already thought I was dyslexic. I need to get this looked at. How do you diagnose if you have dyslexia? Because I genuinely think I have it some days. Former Deputy Secretary... Why can I not read? The fuck? Of the Immigration Department, Abul Rizvi said a dereliction of duty could explain the current situation. There has to be a test. There's got to be a test, yeah, most certainly. Under the current COVID circumstances, clearly these were cases that should have been flagged in the system, he said. I'm just literally skipping over words and mispronouncing them and all that all the time, and I'm like... There's no way this is normal, right? UQuiz was made for this. Immigration lawyer Karina Ford said the ABF had scope to move Djokovic to a different hotel, even with tennis practice facilities, but would have to amend the type of detention he was subject to. You would be making an exception, although this is a very unusual case, she said. We're seeing probably the harshness of our system in many ways, irrespective of what people's views are about vaccination. We're seeing someone detained. I don't care about your views about vaccination. They're wrong. Try reading from a pale pink, green, or blue page instead of white. I wonder if there's an extension for that. Pretty normal as long as you retain what's being said. Or download the dyslexia font. May not be universal, but helps a lot of people. Maybe. Djokovic is being held at Park Hotel in... I like how that is being held. At Park Hotel in Carlton, where a group of asylum seekers have also been held for an extended period. Overnight, police arrested 2 women who spray painted the wall of the building and climbed onto an awning attached to the hotel. Anyway, the women were believed to be part of a group of protesters who gathered to support the asylum seekers held at the hotel and not part of the group of Djokovic supporters who also gathered there. Novak Djokovic. Hostage of the communist state of Dan Andrews. Not the white guy angry about communism, lol. The man was asked to take down this protest sign at Rod Laver Arena last night. That's fucking hilarious. Hostage of the communist state of Dan Andrews. Okie doke. A spectator at the Melbourne Somerset at Rod Laver Arena last night was asked by security to remove a sign protesting against Djokovic's deportation. Steven Universe got topical. Fuck. Tennis Australia said the sign breached ticket terms and conditions for the event. Serbian community rallies around star. Serbian-American tennis writer Ana Mitric said there was broad support for Djokovic to return. Broad support for him in his own country. It's very, very easy within the Serbian media and political contacts to pit this as yet another example of what the Serbs feel is mistreatment of Serbs in Serbia going back to the 90s, she said. Djokovic's father, has accused the Australian government of using his son to launch a politically motivated attack on Serbia. Oh, come on. They're keeping him in captivity, he said during a news conference at his restaurant named after his son in the Serbian capital Belgrade on Thursday. They're stomping all over Novak to stomp all over Serbia and Serbian people. I don't think that's it, honestly. The Dean of a Melbourne church Djokovic visits every year blasted the Australian government for keeping the tennis star in detention during its holiest day. Djokovic normally visits the Holy Trinity Serbian Orthodox Church in Melbourne for Serbian Christmas, which takes place on January 7. Father Milorad Locard said it was inhumane for him to be separated from his community today. The whole thing around this event is appalling, and we are so disappointed by the way Prime Minister Morrison handled that, Father Locard said. That he has to spend Christmas in detention care, it is unthinkable. Am I wrong to say that's reaching? Like everything, and like all of this from here down is reaching, really? It's an attack on Serbia? I don't think so. Forgive me if I'm out of my lane here. Forgive me if I'm stretching over into the lane over, but I mean, politically motivated attack on Serbia. He's got a visa rejection because he's not fully vaxxed. Yeah, it's a big persecution complex. That's bullshit. Honestly, that's just bullshit. Yeah, I didn't know he was Serbian either. I knew he was some kind of foreign. I knew he was European of some variety. I didn't know specifically Serbian. Asylum seekers try to enter a safe country. I sleep / random rich sports dipshit is held back because he's not fulfilling the minimum requirements for a temporary visit. Real shit. As someone with chronic asthma, this isn't foolproof, but try emptying your lungs if you're struggling breathing more than shallow breaths. Bend down and exhale, stand up and inhale. That might help. Novak, I had to be quarantined on Christmas. Me, who went an entire year unable to attend Shabbat services in lockdown. Oh, diddums. I know, it's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. The level of value they place upon these things. Anywho's. There's that. There's Novak Djokovic. We can continue on video games if you prefer. But we also have COVID claiming the life of a 23-year-old James Condilios, former world-class powerlifter and award-winning scientist. And nightclubs to close and surgery restricted as safety measures return to New South Wales. We've got some news. Some more COVID news. which is a pain. Novak is a very typical Slavic name, so no way to tell where he is from exactly for many people. Yeah, exactly. It's basically Newman. Doesn't help you much. First thing you tried. Having trouble taking deep breaths now, so you think your decision to isolate was a good one. Yeah. Bought a G-Max Toxtricity puppet finger on AliExpress, and you're very excited for it to arrive. Neat. Yeah, this like honestly, any sort of COVID stuff is worrying, but I suppose it's good to be aware of it, good to be abreast of what's happening. Cause like a 23-year-old, that scares me as a 32-year-old, you know, with a girlfriend who's 20. Scares me as a person who is like over the age of 18, because like it seems like what was it at first? What was it at first with the like people were going on about COVID claiming the lives of those who were like, and this is eugenics as fuck, by the way. When COVID was first ramping up, it was all like, oh, it's only really dangerous to the elderly. Oh, it's only really dangerous to those who have pre-existing conditions. That was it. Pre-existing conditions. Only dangerous to those who are obese. Like they always had like this list of things like COVID's only really going to affect these people, and like people who are in a healthy weight and age range and blah blah blah. And it's like, okay, so you're just writing off the lives of all these other people who are more at risk, which yeah is fucking eugenicist. Honestly, to just say, oh, you know what, like those people, fuck them. You know, if you're not those people, you're fine. It's like, what a dog shit attitude, first of all. But then we have this. COVID-19 claims the life of 23-year-old James Condilios, former world-class powerlifter and award-winning scientist. And long COVID, yeah. I guarantee you long COVID is going to put a lot of people out of work. No word of a lie. Like, the fact that we're getting all these cases now is really worrying for the fact that long COVID is going to be... I'm genuinely thinking I'm going to have it. I'm going to be dealing with issues resulting from long COVID, I feel like. Even being vaccinated, having contracted it, having tested positive, has me worried that my respiratory system's going to be fucked. My muscles are going to be fucked. Like, I don't think we're going to, like, fully recover from this. COVID doesn't kill you. It has a third chance to leave you disabled, yeah. And it's a lot of people. Yeah. Family and friends are in shock following the death of 23-year-old James Condilios after he tested positive for COVID-19. The science graduate and sportsman was double vaccinated with no underlying medical conditions. He died at St. Vincent's Hospital where he had been receiving treatment. In a social media post, his friend said his death was a reminder that COVID-19 can hit even the young and healthy. Mr. Condilios grew up in Sydney where he attended Waverley College. In 2015, he represented Australia at the Powerlifting World Championships in Finland where he won a bronze medal. He later completed an advanced science degree at the Australian National University in Canberra. Yeah, double vaxxed and still died. So yeah, I'm terrified. We should all be. In 2019, he was awarded a National Science Prize for his work on forestry and climate change. Most recently, he worked as a data scientist at the Department of Social Services in Canberra. He was one of 6 people to die from COVID in the latest reporting period. The others were in their 60s, 80s, and 90s, with 2 from the Lake Macquarie area and 3 from Western Sydney. Hospitalizations have risen to 1,609, up from 1,491, with 131 patients in intensive care, 38 of whom require ventilation. Despite the federal government's relaxed requirements around getting PCR tests, the testing rate in New South Wales is rising. Yesterday, there were 231 COVID swabs taken, compared with the 108,844 the day before. Yeah, I'm sorry for his family too. This is fucking awful. It's gonna fuck your ability to sing, and singing is a big part of your life. Exactly. This is gonna hurt a lot of people. New South Wales Premier Dominic Perrottet has told employers to stop forcing staff to get a COVID test before returning to work after the state recorded 34,994 new cases. The New South Wales government today rolled out more mobile alerts and electronic road signs to advise people about the new rules, which meant a PCR test is not needed after testing positive on a rapid antigen test. Which, again, we are seeing false positives, so, you know, those things are not entirely reliable. We hit 24k yesterday, exactly. New South Wales Health sent alerts yesterday urging people to avoid PCR testing unless they were symptomatic or close contact or had been instructed to do so by health authorities. Yesterday, National Cabinet slashed testing requirements so people with a positive rat test are not required to get a PCR test. Truck drivers no longer need regular testing, and international arrivals will no longer be required to get multiple tests. Mr. Perrottet said there were still too many people getting tested unnecessarily, and employers needed to stop requesting their staff to get a PCR test before returning to work. He said, given how long it was taking for test results to be returned, there was little utility in getting tested as a precaution. They should not be required to get a test. People are being forced to either pay for a rat or get a PCR test when they are asymptomatic. We shouldn't have to pay for rapid antigen test, period. Why are they putting a price on those? Why are they pricing those? They should be given away for free. The Prime Minister yesterday tasked the Attorney Generals across the country to put together a plan on how we tackle that issue going forward, because there should be no requirement unless you're in a high-risk setting. Mr. Perrottet also said given the pressure on the health system, he couldn't rule out another suspension of elective surgery. It may happen in New South Wales just like it happened last year. Last July, non-urgent elective surgery was suspended at public hospitals across Greater Sydney at the peak of the Delta outbreak to ensure there was enough capacity for COVID patients. It created a major backlog of surgeries and meant many people were living with severe pain, Australian Medical Association President Omar Khorshid said at the time. From today, the Victorian government has enforced a major suspension of elective surgery to reduce pressure on their health system. At the moment, the system is strong. We believe we will certainly be getting through this, but we may need to make some changes, Mr. Perrottet said. The Lillian... I've got COVID. Yeah, great. I tested positive. The Lillian Wells Aged Care Facility, by the way. How are you, Lydia? At North Parramatta has recorded one of the largest outbreaks since the pandemic began, and its operator, Uniting, has taken aim at the government for failing to keep residents safe. 56 residents and 19 employees, including agency staff, have contracted COVID after a staff member who was asymptomatic tested positive. 2 residents, both in their 80s, who were double vaccinated, died in hospital on December 25 and December 31, 2021. 15 residents have now been transferred to hospital in line with family wishes and the advice of GPs. Blah. I aced my COVID test. This is not my second Twitch channel. What are you talking about? This is my one Twitch channel that I have. The spokesperson said the strained PCR testing system and inability to transfer all positive residents to hospital was creating a dangerous environment. This failure will mean we will have to rely on less effective rapid antigen testing, isolation within the home, and COVID-19 symptom responses to manage this new and far larger wave of COVID-19 infections. The spokesperson said aged care workers were doing many 12-hour shifts, wearing PPE all day long and missing important events with their families in order to care for society's most vulnerable. We need government providers in the community to address the underlying structural problem of a poorly paid caring industry that not enough people in Australia want to work in. The Premier said all leaders at National Cabinet yesterday were completely committed to making sure children are back in classrooms for Term 1. Ugh, fucking hell. Despite many parents unable to book their children in for vaccinations before school resumes. The Teachers Union has repeatedly raised concerns about classroom safety and how the system would cope with staff absenteeism due to COVID exposure. My fucking chair is falling apart. There's bits of chair on the back of my leg. I need a new chair. I'm going to throw this one out when I move. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this person's trying to false flag report me. So, suspicious user. Oh, suspicious user. Get banned then, cunt. That's the first time I've seen that, actually. You know how it says first time chat from viewer sometimes? I mean, I see it. I don't know if you folks see it. It said suspicious user. Get banned. Go fuck yourself. It's a new thing they're trying out. Anyway, it's a new thing Twitch is experimenting with. I forgot about that. Get banned. Anyway, where were we? Mr. Perrottet said a plan that deals with these issues was forthcoming. The state and territory leaders will be finalising our plan within 24 hours, and hopefully next week we'll have a national position in ensuring every single kid is back in the classroom on day 1. Nope, I'm not sus, just very gay. I'm also very gay. Am I a baka? Can I vent? Baka Shinji. I actually watched that recently. I actually watched Evangelion recently. The original, Neon Genesis Evangelion and End of Evangelion. And I haven't watched the rebuilds yet, but Maddie really wants me to. So we're probably going to do that too. But yeah, that was deep. That was interesting. It was different. Not what I was expecting. Evangelion was... End of Evangelion was something else. That whole thing, that whole saga was... something else. Have I ever done live binges? What do you mean live binges? Shinji is such an egg, bless her poor heart. Oh, honestly, yeah. Shinji egg vibes big time. Yeah, Evangelion is trans. Watch-alongs. No, I haven't actually. That'd be neat. Oh, fuck. It's good. I get in the dress, Shinji. Yeah, I liked it. It was good. It was different though. Yeah, it was not what I was ready for, I think. And I think it's just like because I'm not really all that familiar with because there are definite narrative differences in terms of storytelling, I suppose, like compared to what I'm used to watching. Plus it's much older. So, you know, different narrative conventions. Deals a lot with themes of depression and plays a bit with gender insecurity and exploration. Off topic, but just got in a forum in the first I saw. Did COVID make you fun a lot? Lol. Anyway. What was I going to do? We could do more news. So actually well, I mean, I've heard it's one of those things in media where it's like, this is trans media. And I'm like, okay. I think I could definitely see it, I reckon. So yeah. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm yawning. I'm yawning like crazy. I mean, it's understandable that I would be tired given I tested positive, so, you know, fatigue is one of the symptoms, sadly. And the last couple of days I've felt like absolute garbage. Like, I've been really fucking tired. Trans until proven otherwise. True, bestie. So true, bestie. Is it just me, or is the text on my daily subs thing really pixelated? I'm just gonna fiddle with that because I'm a wanker and I'm just gonna be annoying and mess with that really quickly and like shrink it down a little bit. There we go. Set the daily subs thing to like smaller. It's too big. There we go. A little bit smaller. Now kind of in line with the goal bar. Not 100%, but you know. Anyways. I'm just sort of sitting here rambling. I just had a sudden... I'm just going to admit to something. When I finished reading that article just then, and I wasn't really reading at a ridiculously fast pace, I don't think. I had a sudden wave of breathlessness hit me. I'm like, oh shit. Like, I'm suddenly feeling really puffed, which is honestly worrying. So yeah, that's great. Cool. Every time you hear wanky, you remember that time you played Town of Salem and this one person called Reknor had a death note saying read my name backwards and I got so owned. Lol. Get owned, scrub. We already sort of covered this in that other article, honestly. There's no real point to go into this, but nightclubs to close, surgery restricted, safety measures, Dominic Perrottet, etc., etc. So, yeah, there's no real point to, placebo effect is also definitely a thing. Yeah, I mean, I suppose it could be, but yeah. Anyways. Who watched Arcane? I should hydrate, yes. I got like 2 drops out of that. That's all I have left. Lol. Placebo effect does help though. Psychosomatic effects are fucking wild. Well, yeah. But I know I have it. So if I'm experiencing symptoms, I know those symptoms are probably legitimate. Is Arcane worth watching if you don't like League? Honestly, I got really into it. I've never played League before in my life. So I got super into it. Thank you, babe. You're cute. What? Don't mind me, I'm just like losing the ability to speak. Yeah, it's really good. It's genuinely a good show. I would recommend it. It's like it really gets you into the world. Yeah, it does a good job of like getting you invested in the world and the storytelling and the lore and the characters and all of that. But yeah, the unfortunate reality of the situation is it is tied to League of Legends, which makes me think they put all this money into producing this show to kind of just push away from all of the awful abusive workplace allegations and such, which I can totally see Activision Blizzard doing and making an Overwatch TV show next or something, probably, maybe. It's funny that Arcane made people actually play League. Imagine that. Of all things. I can see, like, Arcane bringing existing League players back to the game, like people who played it before, but, you know. Runeterra Victor is hot because Cyborg. Oh, excuse me. Hi, you. What's up? I'm very thirsty.
Yeah, we can tell.
Yeah, everyone can tell that I'm very, very thirsty. So I'm gonna take a drink right now. To just so I'm not as thirsty anymore. Look on my face. What look? I don't know what you're talking about.
Fag.
She called me a slur! Babe, it's not sexy times. You're not allowed to do that. She's got me on speaker audio again and I can hear myself in the other room. Not on stream. I've called people that on stream. Because, like, I am one and I'm using it in I generally use it in a non-derogatory way. Kind of like Castlevania in that the original source material doesn't matter. I would say so, yeah, honestly. And, like, I did a bit of research on Castlevania, the games, after I watched the show, and there's so much different. Like, the characters of Hector and Isaac in Castlevania are so different to the video games. It's crazy. Good night, Fox. The homophobic slurs stay on in bed. Tweet that. Tweet that and I'll retweet it. But yeah, like, both Castlevania and Arcane are very, very good. Oh, head pats. I'd take head pats. Ooh, woo. Hector. Oh, you mean good boy. I want to top Hector. Am I allowed to say that? Am I allowed to say that on the Twitch? Oh, Cypher is very gender. Cypher is so gender. Definitely gender. So is Lenore, though. Not gonna lie. You want to look like her? Yeah, same. Same. I want to look like Lenore. I want to look like Carmilla. I want to look like Trevor. I want to look like all of them. I want to look like Alucard, honestly. That's half the reason I want to dye my hair like platinum blonde or something. Actually, yeah, honestly. The reason I did that original face app, me with very bright blonde hair thing, I was actually thinking of Alucard when I did that one. And now I really legitimately want to dye my hair that bright blonde color and then eventually go grey-blue. So we'll start with looking like Alucard for a while, and then I will make myself look like Geralt of Rivia. Because Geralt of Rivia is also quite gender. Keep dying over that Joker. They gender me. Wait, what? I want to look like a cis. That way I would look like an ugly little goblin creature. Oh, God. I love the fact that transphobes legit can't tell if someone is cis or trans. I mean, not that you can tell either. That's the point. I've seen cis people that look trans. I've seen many trans people that look cis. According to society's conventions. You know, I have friends that play Guilty Gear Strive and like the vampire guy, Sol, Pomtemkin. I don't know what those mean. Gay heart can't take it. They try so hard. They do. Hello, Necro. How you doing? We can always tell. No, you can't. Yeah, exactly. Like, I legit think of all of the women I've met throughout my life in particular. And a lot of the men. Just, dude. And knowing what I know now about transness, trans people, the effects HRT can have, seeing all these different trans timelines that I've seen over the past year and a half, I cannot tell. Like, genuinely, as a trans person, I've met so many people throughout my life where I think back to them and I'm like, that person could have been trans. And it's just like, how would I fucking know? You can't know. I've met alleged cis women. I mean, I've met alleged cis women. They said they were cis. Well, no, they didn't say they were cis. Lexi in Matrix 4 looks trans. Hang on. You're snowed in? Oh my goodness. That's no good. Gewalt. Gewalt of Wivia. Gewu. Lexi. Wait, which one's Lexi? Oh, that one. Okay. I'm not going to spoil it for anyone. The first thing I saw was like pictures of bugs, and I'm like, wait, that's not Lexi. That's bugs. Alleged cis woman. Violent. I have cis friends. How could I be cisphobic? I have cis friends. I actually had a cute redheaded trans woman help me at Cash Converters. I was tempted to ask her out, but I mean, doing that when she's at work would be a dick move. A little bit. When we were in Melbourne, when Maddie and I were in Melbourne, we went into Zing, which is attached to EB Games. And it's really weird. The Zing is in like a basement floor. So Zing, for anyone who doesn't know, like here in Australia, we've got EB Games. So the predominant video game store chain in Australia is EB Games. And then Zing is an attachment of that, which is largely pop culture related shit. Just merchandise mainly. And unfortunately, they tend to have a pretty hefty Harry Potter collection. And the clerk at the checkout had a bunch of cute little pride pins, including one which was like my pronouns, and then it's got a few little notches where it's like he, her, she, him, they, them, and then ask me. And it's got a little slidey bit, so you could pick out which one it is on any given day, and it was so adorable. You and Maddie be like, we like your vibe. She was really cool. She was so sweet. She was the best. This is a really strange thing, but recently especially, I've been having lots of positive interactions with nice people. And I'm noticing it a lot more when someone is particularly nice. I'm like, oh my god, you're so sweet. It's actually hitting me in the feels. Is this what estrogen does to you? It makes you sentimental about other people being nice? Or have I just not met many nice people before? Nice people in this economy? Hey, Mule, how's it going? It's because I'm nice. Like calls to like true. So true, bestie. Hang on. I'm going to do something because I haven't done this. Estrogen unlocks your emotion cavities. Cavities? I haven't done any shoutouts. Can I do some shoutouts really quickly? Because I'm not going to shout out Rivert Boat Jack. Because Jack rated us before. Mule is cool too. Who else can I shout out right now? Can I shout out my girlfriend who doesn't stream? My favorite streamer on Twitch is my girlfriend who doesn't stream. Emotion is stored in the testicles. That's why I want to cut them off. I'm an awful person. What is Poothy? Me? Do you stream? Who streams? Should send some shoutouts out while I've got 89 viewers. Get everyone some followers. There was probably why I got recommended. Probably, yeah, probably. After Bussy. Oh, Pussy. I get it. She doesn't stream, so she has the highest ratio of slurs per stream. Fuck. Oh, Jesus. Ranting Trans gonna do a Goth Girl stream soon. I've got to stop by Ranting Trans again soon. I haven't been in Jasmine streams in ages. I'm such an asshole. Oh my god. I can't believe it. Baller Collie, you like it. It's one of my faves. I like this one. It's got a ring on it. I like the ring. There's another one I've got with a ring. which has... There's this one, which has a little padlock that you put on it, but the padlock doesn't do anything. I want to get a collar that has a padlock where you do it up, right? So you can't undo it unless whoever it is that has the key can take it off. Yeah, that's probably a bit kinky for Twitch. I don't care. But this one, the ring is like on this thing. This one's a bit more fixed. It doesn't really rotate a lot. But this one, like, it just effortlessly just rotates through there. And it's such a stim. When I wear this collar, I just stim with that all the fucking time. I'm just like constantly just, yep, this is fun. I like this. I am so autism right now. Friend has a solid stainless steel collar that screws together with Torx cap head bolts. Jesus. Autism. I don't talk about autism much. I am autistic. So we're clear. I used to talk about it a bit more, but I just, I don't know. Unlike, I just got really hooked into... I am, right? I am the trans woman who made being trans her entire personality. I will wear that on my sleeve. That I'm not wearing at the present. But I've been autistic. This is the thing. I think the reason I've made a significant portion of at least my social presence about being trans is because once I transitioned, it was this new, wild, revolutionary experience. I was discovering so many things and I wanted to learn so much about it. So effectively, I autistically hyper-focused on being trans. But I've known I'm autistic since I was like 11. So I've had a pretty good grasp on autism since I was much younger. And though there's always things to learn, there's always like, I'm always picking up new information, all that about it. I don't really feel particularly, I mean, I could definitely talk about it, but I'm not clued into whatever discourse is surrounding autism. Other than, I'm aware of the fact that, what's it called? ABA is still an ongoing thing. And that's fucking horrendous. Basically autistic conversion therapy. And I will yap about that for a bit. But I've never really gone too hard on a discourse surrounding that. Never clued myself into what's going on. The discourse of autism. Autism Speaks sucks. Pretty much. I feel like if you would look into whatever people are talking about re-autism, it's just going to be Autism Speaks is shit. The puzzle piece logo is shit. And many, many people don't understand what autism actually is. We can talk about more. We could talk more about neurodivergency if you want. Known since mid-teens, got diagnosed last year at 27. I mean, that's basically my story, Nidian. With the trans thing. I knew I was trans when I was 15, and I didn't come out until I was 31. Similar concept. I got diagnosed with autism at 11, but, you know. Puzzlebee's logo is shit, it really is. Autistic conversion is the thing. Yes, so, there is this therapy called ABA, Applied Behavioral Analysis, right? And what they will do is if there is an autistic child, and this is the thing, this therapy, this treatment that they will give these children, is specifically about making life easier on the carer. Specifically about making life easier on the parents or whoever is professionally taking care of the autistic person, whatever it is. And we could talk about Andrew Wakefield as well. But basically, ABA sits the child down with a therapist for up to 40 hours a week, so like a job. And so obviously the therapist has got their job, and the child, the autistic child, is also given a job. Kids as young as like 6 and 8 and all that kind of thing. And they're basically conditioning the child to suppress their autistic behavior, like Jaeger said. And coerce them to behave in other ways to be more normal in typical social situations. So yes, effective conversion therapy, which boils down to traumatizing the child. It's like abusing a dog to train them, right? You know how certain dogs are trained to become aggressive and react on certain tics, right? You know, they will know to bite certain people, etc., etc. It's the same concept, right? They just effectively punish autistic children for showing autistic traits and say, no, this is what you should do. This is how you act in that situation. And there's a good sort of example I've used a couple of times. It's like if you teach an autistic kid, here's how you go up and you greet someone. You go up, you shake their hand, you go, hey, how are you? Right? And an autistic kid and an autistic adult and whatever can grasp that concept. You can go up to someone and say, hi, how are you? And then after that point, they don't know how to proceed. You know, most neurotypical people will be able to greet someone, proceed with a conversation, interact normally. I am this person. I will say this right now. I know how to introduce myself to people, but if it's a stranger, I just genuinely, 99% of the time, do not know how to navigate the conversation. And this is how you learn to mask. It's how I learned to mask as well. I didn't go through ABA, mind you, or at least if I did, I don't remember it. Maybe I'm too traumatized. I did go through some therapy when I was younger regarding my autism, but I don't think it was like full-blown ABA. I would remember spending like 40 hours a week with a therapist. But at the very least, I have spent a significant portion of my life observing and emulating human behavior. So a lot of the time, I am pretending. Anyway, no thank you for treatment. I just need you all to know I'm autistic, so you'll calm down a bit so I don't lose my mind. ABA focuses on suppressing. Yeah, we read that bit. Just found out some autistic artist you follow on Instagram works as an ABA therapist. Wait, what? Ooh, what do they do with the left-handed kids? I know, right? What was the thing? What's that graph? Does anyone remember that graph of like left-handedness over time? Do you remember, like, this is how this history of left-handedness, right? Remember when they were punishing people for being left-handed, and left-handedness was so low, and then over time, when they stopped punishing people for being left-handed, shock and horror, the rate went up. Excuse me. Because more people were willing to embrace the fact that they were simply left-handed. Didn't learn how to speak to people until like half a year ago. You're 20 to put that into perspective. I feel like I was by and large the same, honestly, Lydia. Like, thinking back on when I was that age, yeah. Like, I struggled so hard with socializing. And I don't know. What is with Christians? Hang on. And they're, oh no, we fucked up the upbringing. Let's send them to internment camp for 4 weeks instead. Something, Jesus love you. When you train a dog like that, you often end up with a dog that becomes a fear biter, so even most trainers know better. Yeah, exactly. It's awful. And there are numerous different, and this is like the thing, right? Conversion therapy is the same concept. Trans and gay conversion therapy is the same concept. It's just abusing a person until they suppress the parts of themselves that they feel are innate, they know are innate, and they condition themselves to behave according to social structures that feel immensely uncomfortable for them. You only learn how to be social because it was part of your job? Yeah, same. My job at the time. So I think I can credit at least the job I had for a while there, for like 3 or 4 years, with improving my capacity to mask, because I was routinely around staff members and customers all the time. So I had to learn to be somewhat sociable, you know. Whereas prior to that, sociability was not my strong suit for a long time. So I knew I was really bad at socializing around age 20. But once I got into a relationship for a while, I was again in that situation where I was socializing with more people than I was used to. And I was becoming accustomed to talking to all different types of people, and I would learn their cues and how to respond, even if most of the time I was still very uncomfortable in conversations, for example. Sounds like there is the capacity to learn social norms, but to do it for 40 hours a week doesn't seem right. Yeah, no. That's definitely an abusive tactic. But autistic people can be sociable. We definitely can be sociable. It's just it's a what's the phrase I'm looking for? It's not a learning disability. Autism's not a learning disability. I don't think. You could maybe define it that way. I don't know. But the way I see it is it's a social incapacity, broadly speaking. But we do have a filtering issue, social disability, so neurodevelopmental disorder. All of these probably work best. I would say, Lily, what you've defined it as there, neurodevelopmental disorder works really well in the sense that autism specifically tends to focus on the social aspects. A different way of learning. Like, I've struggled with conventional learning systems my entire life. When did I transition? Why do you ask? I transitioned in the year AD 14. I'm very old. I'm almost 2 millennia. Actually, I'm over 2 millennia in age. Kind of lucky your only work, which is like 3 days a year. 3 days a year lets me not only be visibly autistic but visibly disabled. How so? I'm curious. And by transition, she means bit by a vampire. Yes, I am a vampire. I had my bite marks tattooed over though. The social aspects are also influenced by an inability to filter impulses. Definitely. Did I meet Jesus? Yeah, I did. He was an alright bloke. His followers are trash, but Jesus himself was an alright bloke. You're old, you threw your back out shoveling snow to leave work yesterday. Fuck, that's awful. Please rest up. Back pain is the fucking worst. Please take care of your back, people, if you can. The OG trans man. Yeah, you've seen those artworks of Jesus showing off his top surgery? His top surgery scars? Oh yeah, Jesus. Thigh-high snow. Fucking hell, that's ridiculous. Oh yeah, you enforcer packs. Don't have to hide your text and you can use your cane since you're on your feet a lot, so other disabled / ND folks seem more comfortable coming to me for directions and help. That's right, yeah, you've told me about that so many times and I am so forgetful. Because I'm an asshole. Thigh-high, I mean, I want some more thigh-highs, don't get me wrong. But no, we're talking thigh-high snow. Snow is trans. Like there are also physical and mental disabilities, same with ADHD, but it's primarily incompatibility with neurotypical labeled society. Pretty much, yes. Like the thing about neurodivergence, right, is that society is built around certain acceptable social traits. And as a result, autistic people and other neurodivergent people, broadly speaking, find it very difficult to align with those traits that make you more acceptably human, you know? And I've never felt acceptably human to the point where nowadays I'm re-exploring a gender identity crisis I had when I was in my teens. And honestly, even going back further than that, to when I was a child, I've never felt particularly attached to humans or humanity, and I mean that in a social sense. I've always felt other. I've always felt like anything I did to feel normal, to seem normal, was a mask, you know. And masking is this thing that autistic people do, where they emulate socially acceptable traits to the best of their ability. Autistic people are generally actors. I'm not saying that like they're actually actors, like professional people appearing on film and stage, but autistic people just, in order to get anywhere, we have to put on that mask and pretend to be as normal as everybody else. Some actors are autistic, they are. Tom Badills, how's it going? Welcome in, how you been? Oh, excusez-moi. We don't need this one. Do we want to talk about the fact that Richard Dawkins is transphobic? No, we don't. You hear Sia cast people? Yeah, right. Honestly, the story around Sia and that little girl is disturbing as fuck. It's groomer shit. Genuinely, I think Sia's a groomer. I'm just in Minecraft. I have a strong suspicion her relationship with that young girl, who has appeared in numerous music videos of hers, is patently disturbing. Let me see if I can find it. Who is it? Maddie Ziegler. The problem with Sia and her use of her muse, Maddie Ziegler. It is abusive as fuck, and I don't really want to touch on it, honestly. But she's had this girl appear in numerous music videos and then in that movie. Sia, S-I-A. And it just like there's a lot of details out there about the relationship between those two that strikes me as groomerish, and I'm like, yike. Anyway, Dawkins is such a cringe lord. He is. I would like him to stop talking. It would be very good if he would just stop. Like, the dude's an evolutionary biologist who made his career on complaining about Christianity. Like, I don't know. Wasn't she crying on set as well? That wouldn't shock me. Speaking of groomers, there is a woman who says pro-LGBTQ+ and teaches that our allies are groomers. Yeah, that's not shocking, unfortunately. It's a pretty common opinion among reactionaries. Coincidentally, elongated muskrat's ex-spouse. Wait, Sia? Dawkins is a bioessentialist now? Yeah, pretty much. It's honestly shocking. It's honestly kind of wild that someone who has spent his entire life, or devoted his entire career rather, to the study of the fact that science is changing and bodies and biology aren't rigid and fluid, is going to take the stance that sex is binary when the science itself disagrees with him. Study biology and bioessentialism is such bunk, literally. Like, science keeps changing, we keep making new discoveries. Brain crash and I forgot her name. Lauren Chen. Oh, yeah. Bimodal at best, yeah. It's a bimodal spectrum. Sex is a bimodal spectrum. And yeah, chromosomes don't mean shit. Like, chromosomes have... What is it with these no-effort trolls tonight, right? What's the deal here? Science is gender fluid. No one can stop me. You can't ban anyone in my chat, dude. You're not a mod. Lol. Sweet heard Sia. Let's have a look. That's the first I'm hearing of it. Are you sure you're not thinking of Grimes? I don't know what kind of music Grimes makes, but I've got a friend who's an absolute stan for Grimes, and it makes me cringe. Only mods can ban? Shockingly, yes. Mix the two together. I mean, they're both pretty weird. I will say, like, I'm not saying that as an offensive thing. Well, I mean, Sia is pretty fucking weird in an offensive way, derogatory. But they're both avant-garde artists, I'll say that much. So it's reasonable to conflate the two. Grimes needs better taste in men. If I could link a picture, I'd be using that meme from Lord of the Rings going, "You have no power here, lol." Music is decent. The only relevance sex has is for, like, large population studies and maybe when wanting to make an baby. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, exactly. By and large, it doesn't actually have any relevance to anything. Aside from the fact that biological sex, and when I say biological sex, I'm referring specifically to genitalia, is broadly used to determine a person's gender, which is their social role in society. What are my thoughts on some parts of the trans community detransitioning? You mean like less than 1% of them? It's mostly women, though. When you say women, are you referring to trans women detransitioning to men, or are you referring to trans men detransitioning to women? You need to clarify with some finer details. There's no problem with people detransitioning if they discover that transition is not for them for one reason or another. From what I have seen, a lot of trans people are very supportive of detransitioners, actually. You know. Even when wanting to go preggers, sex is an oversimplification and a specialized approach is more important, exactly. If we are talking about parts of the trans community who detransition, we are looking at people who are trans and stop taking hormones. I ascend gender. I am the omega. Are the vast majority of detransitions because of financial issues? Or I would dare say, like, there's a number of issues. There's a number of reasons why someone might detransition. And the thing is, I don't know about the specifics around what counts as detransition. But yeah, detransition is literally like a tiny minority of a tiny minority. Detransition can be a result of bad guidance. It can be. But yeah, that can be numerous factors. So it could be that someone simply cannot afford to finance their transition. Not that you need to go through any sort of expensive anything. Like, you don't need to go through medical transition if you would not like to. Like, there's no specific reason you can't be trans and not be medically trans. Or, you know what I mean. Most detransition due to reasons other than they made a mistake. Yeah, like, effectively, like, a lot of them tends to be they can't afford to transition, and maybe socially. Like, the thing with the Keira Bell thing, I just want to bring that up for a second. I've heard so many anecdotes around Keira Bell, okay? I'm not confirming or denying anything, but she did go on a podcast and somebody took some notes of that podcast. There was a pretty lengthy Twitter thread, I can't find it now, that went into detail about all the things she said, and it definitely sounded like she was just surrounded by people who were like, don't transition, don't transition, don't transition, don't transition. So, effectively peer pressured into detransitioning, from what I can understand. You know? It definitely sounded like there was some initial desire to transition, and I'm not going to speculate on whether they'll retransition at some point or not, but people aren't required to transition either to be qualified as trans yet. It's not like there's some fucking office we go to, the trans lobby. Anyway. Know a lot of trans folk who were pressured into SRS and they regret it. Yeah, like, trans is a spectrum at the end of the day. And detransitioning people are considered a part of that in some capacity. And more to the point, detrans people are not treated as cis. Right? It's worth noting that detrans people don't suddenly have cis privilege. They are still recognized as someone who transitioned and detransitioned. And there is a social circumstance that comes with that. Unfortunately, there are consequences for detransitioning, and it's not from trans people. Okay, the vast majority of the trans community I have seen is supportive of detransitioners because they've realized, oh, this is someone who still shares a kin with us, right? But they realized transitioning was not for them in one way, shape, or form. Does that answer your question? Detransition is such a vague term. Like, there are a lot of non-binary people in there, people in hostile environments, sex workers. Suspicious user, Harmony. By the way, you're coming up as a suspicious user. I'm just saying. Bad empanada stand. Another loaded question. Thoughts on the CCP? I'm not answering. Don't know enough to care, honestly. Twitch is literally ticking you as a suspicious user, buckaroo. Twitch is saying to me, suspicious user. It's got a big highlighted message above your name every time you're posting a message. That's funny. Nice sea lining, by the way. Keira Bell raised 5k to make money for a website to help people detransition, and now a year later, no website, no social media announcements. Not weird at all. Because I knew you were asking a loaded question. I knew you were bullshitting. Personally know a stripper who detransitioned because they relied on their femininity for outcome. For income. Not outcome. How did I read outcome? Dyslexia. Honestly. A lot of people who detransition because they're not trans. Let me go back. I can't see the rest of that message. Would probably do that at a really early stage. Like, transitioning isn't an early process to begin with. Yeah, it's really not. It's really not. Income is outcome. It really is. Honestly worry about transitioning simply because I would hate to change my mind. That's a completely understandable perspective, honestly. I feel like there would be a lot of self-reflection one would need to make before taking the plunge, which I didn't do, actually, in retrospect. Oh, I mean, I probably did. You know, I sort of had a realization. It's like, I need a transition now. Back when I was 31, right? I sort of made this snap decision. It's like, okay, I need to transition now. I can't keep going the way I'm going, or I'm gonna just absolutely hate myself and probably not exist in a couple of years. But I will say that, like, you can make your own mind up as to whether or not you want to transition. I totally get if you either want to or don't want to for whatever reason, whether it be social, financial, or otherwise. But I will say that cis people don't really have these kind of crises about their gender. They don't like. It's complex, you know. So where were we? Coming home, honey, the doctor prescribed me with daily sex. Oh no, it says dyslexia. And I think, honestly, having a concept of dysphoria and transition would cause more people to consider it, to actually think about it. But that's not to say they are necessarily going to transition themselves. First time you were told that you were a suspicious user. I don't know. I don't know why Twitch is doing that. It's interesting. Belle wrongfully thinks because she detransitioned it's the norm and most are making mistakes. Well, yeah. This is the thing, is like, she's been definitely snapped up by a transphobic movement and used as a scapegoat. So now she's in this kind of mascot position for a hate movement. And of course that's going to have some effect on the ideologies that you inhabit. Lots of detransition propaganda implies that people are being forced to transition. Yeah, exactly. It completely takes away the agency of the person transitioning or detransitioning. That whole movement is predicated upon some kind of slave narrative. You can flag someone as a suspicious user in your chat if they're acting like a troll. You do it all the time to people you ban. Really? The entirety of detransitioning has been co-opted and it sucks, yeah. There are valid reasons to detransition if a person needs to detransition for whatever reason. It's completely valid to do so. Felt like the internal pressure to transition eventually became bigger than the external pressure to stay in the closet. Yes, same. Yeah. I was at my breaking point, you know. You were just a happy non-being just existing in a dream where I was handed estrogen and my titties grew. Boom, dysphoria, and I knew I needed to medically transition. I have not read Detransition Baby. I will do. I didn't know that that was a thing. Yeah, manage suspicious user. I didn't know that. They treat people as political scapegoats. Yeah, it's literally like the phrase detransition in modern social discourse is being used primarily by transphobic cis people to paint all trans people in a bad light and to make it out like it's some kind of mental disorder that needs some other they need some other treatment. They need therapy and they need medication. But the thing is, we go to therapy, we take medication. We've already got a treatment and it works. When the reality of the situation is those people who are using the who are using the detransition narrative against trans people legitimately just want trans people to stop existing. I'm not ignoring you, Phage. I'm sorry. I didn't see you said that before. I legitimately did not know. I'm scrolling up. Hang on. I can't see it. I don't know. Honestly, I'm sorry. I missed it. I love you. Do you want to see a therapist before you start looking into fully transitioning? Which might help you. If that's something that you think might be beneficial to you, then yeah. GCs, go to therapy. Me. I did. They prescribed me a pair of stonking great tits. Yeah, I'm at 93 viewer chat now. Oh, you sent it to me in a DM. Oh, okay. Okay. That's the oh, okay. I see. I get it. So mods can flag as suspicious too. I thought it was literally like an algorithmic thing. Like if a user might get, let's just say for example, and I think this might actually be a thing. If a user gets banned or timed out a lot in a bunch of other channels, maybe they'd get flagged as suspicious. That was my suspicion. Lost on the mentions now. This is too much. To be fair, if you're quoting people in chat, it doesn't work the majority of the time. Like, I'll see somebody responding to a message, and it's like that's not the message they're responding to. The Trantifa come and take your trans card away. There's not a register where you get cancelled from if you stop hormones. No one is going to be able to tell you if you're trans or not for a long time. Yeah, that's the thing, right? For a long time I was hoping to hear that before I transdet, but really it's no one else's place to say. They can just ask questions that make you think about things, pretty much. Transition is a deeply personal issue, which is why turning it into a broad social issue is so dangerous, honestly. Because it allows people to just ascribe traits to an entire group, which is not a good thing. Subsequent replies look like they're replying to the original message. Hi, Paige. DM me just now. Said ages ago when you banned that person. Oh, I see. Okay, thank you. Thank you for keeping me abreast of what's going on this platform, because I have no fucking clue. Yeah, I said to my girlfriend and to... hang on. Oh, cool. Okay, so it wasn't like it wasn't a sex analogy. My other friend over here was literally talking to me about, like, said something about, I'm going to make you a Witcher sword. I used to make swords. I've told you about this. I'm just telling you my DMs now. I thought they were making like a sexual reference. No, actually, they're going to make me a sword apparently. They're saying generalizing and stereotyping entire communities is bad now. I know, hot take. Spicy take. Wow, that person got banned quick. In pollination, I'll ZWAP, I promise you I will hop off in just a moment. And then we can start Minecraft. We're going to play Minecraft off stream because, like, fuck you. You don't get to watch. In pollination, pollen grains are transferred from the male anthers to the female stigma. Okay. No homophobic slurs, please. Only my girlfriend's allowed to call me that. Detransition stats come from questionnaires, I believe. And so many people who just changed their way of being trans, yeah. Only white slurs here. Look, I'm not racist against whites. I've got white friends. Okay. At least two. Bruh, that's just what we call it. Comparing us to plants is dumb. Is that what that is? Is that what that's about? No white slurs. Apparently Twitch doesn't like it when you say the C word. What, cunt? Got white friends, they gave me the pass. Sometimes wonder if I'm cissist. Cunny. That sounds like something they'd say on Drag Race. Sorry, white slurs. Oh, fuck. I can hear myself and my dumb fucking laugh, babe. God damn it. Pardon? Have an issue? Grab a tissue. Alright, no saltines. You like saltines though? I feel like some jats actually. I want some jats with some hummus, some pepperoni, and some cheese. I feel like making a little like charcuterie board for poor people, which, you know, a charcuterie board's like $20. It's not exactly expensive. People like to pretend that's rich people shit, but it's really not. Where were we? Tempted to boot up Minecraft yourself? We could, I mean, Looper, you're on Java, right? Hey babe, how many people can we invite to Steph's server? How many people can we invite to Steph's server? Are you listening to the stream still? You! Looper. Okay, we'll see how we go. We'll see how we go. These alternative slurs are so evasive, so uncreative. How about flavor evaders? The slur discourse is sort of interesting. Recently I heard about a G word to describe Cuban landlords. I know that one. Raises the question of where the line actually is for what constitutes a slur. Interesting. Look up Joshua Weissman. He makes a cheat board. It's late. Don't see someone. Yeah, I mean, we probably wouldn't be able to do it tonight. I'm not saying immediately. But, you know, At some point. Okay. Why does, like, dude, can Twitter stop recommending me people who I do not follow trashing on the Matrix? Holy shit. I'm just gonna say this right now. I've seen so many, not promoted tweets, but like tweets in different categories, topics or whatever, just trashing on the Matrix. And I'm like, is there a reason you're doing this, Twitter? What's going on here? Also, with how often J.K. Rowling tends to trend. Twitter, are you okay there? Recommending this shit to a trans person? What's going on, mate? You right? Anyway. The Transes. It was made for us, the Transes. Exactly. Matrix Resurrections is a fucking trans movie. I'm sick of hearing that name too. Anyway, Mule, have a good one. Smash it in the gym. I can't go there for another 8 fucking days. I'm so pissed. I will be back in the gym on the 17th, and I'm so annoyed. So 9 days. As of today, which 12:06 a.m. is the 8th. Anyway. Matrix 1 was a fucking trans movie. They're all trans movies. Anyway, I'm gonna call it there. I am gonna go raid somebody. I swear I had Twitch open before, and I've lost it now. And then I need to pee. Let me see who's doing a stram. Who's doing the videos game on the internet. I don't know who to go to. I don't want to send you to someone you're not going to watch, so... I don't know, honestly. Who do we go to? Radholm's live, yeah. I mean, Radholm has rated me recently, and, if I recall correctly... Hey, don't play your ad, fuck you. Oh, hello. New tip from Juice, hey, base, thank you so kindly. We're going to go raid Real Radholm, and I will actually be doing something with Radholm on Sunday, if I recall correctly. Is it Sunday? I think it's Sunday, and I think I'm also doing something tomorrow with Alabrel on their stream, so that'll be about midday my time, I think. And then Sunday, we're doing something on Radholm's stream. So that'll be fun. I'll try to keep you in the loop. If you're not already, there's my socials. Click my link tree and just go follow all my social media. It's all in one place now. Join my Discord, follow me on Twitter and all that kind of stuff. I will keep you in the loop about what's going on. At any rate, thank you so kindly, everybody, for being here tonight. It has been fun discussions. Even if I have been incredibly COVID. Vote Quimby! Hey, how's it going? We're leaving. We're raiding somebody. I need an ending screen. I've got like... Well, I got that. No. I used to have like a the stream is ending kind of outro thingy. But I got rid of it. And I should make a new one. But I don't know what to do. What do you do? I don't know. Anyway, be kind to yourselves and each other. I love your faces. Streams will return on Monday. And I'll see you when I'm looking at you. Bye.